Clear Channel Sports proudly presents New Orleans Saints football as the Saints prepare in the preseason for defense of their Western Division NFC title. Proud sponsors of the Saints on radio include Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits, the official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust. Your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. Remember, there's only one Jeep. Pennzoil Motor Oil and Gum Out, available at all Walmart stores. BC Headache Powder. No matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster. And Tabasco brand products. Tabasco Sauce, 7-Spice Chili, and Tabasco Bloody Mary Mix. They're Louisiana legends. Now, stand by to claim your 50-yard line seat with the 1992 Saints Network broadcast team. Archie Manning, Jim Henderson, and David Garrett.
Good evening to Saints fans everywhere. From Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, a sold-out NFL-hungry crowd of 60,000 will witness the final preview of 1992 as the New Orleans Saints, now 2-1 in preseason, will play the Fins, the Miami Dolphins, 3-1 in preseason on this field in about a half hour. There's a lot of outside factors besides winning a preseason game that have set the themes for this contest. A hurricane named Andrew held half attention during practices for both these teams this past week, and it has some attention here tonight as some of its tropical depression remnants have moved into the area and will continue to do so over the next day. The NFL-mandated cut to 60 on the roster gave several players an early exit this week and caused 15 or 20 more to wonder if this may be their last chance to make it happen before next week's cut down to 47. With Archie Manning and Jim Henderson, this is David Garrett ready to preview these injury-riddled Saints against a Dolphins team whose coach gets a homecoming welcome to a town desperately trying to impress the National Football League. The banner here is Give Baltimore the Ball. And men, there'll be plenty of sidebars to talk about in this evening's contest. First off, it'll probably be a road-type crowd anyway, regardless of it being a neutral field, Jim, because Don Shula gets his player and coaches welcome back to the stadium.
I'm sure that's the case, David. And you could hear the greeting he got as he came down on the field below, where he'd done so many great things for the Colts down through the years. You know, Jim Moore, it's interesting. He won a championship with the Stars, the Philadelphia Stars that became the Baltimore Stars, but he never coached the Stars in Baltimore. He coached them in College Park in Maryland, and yet he has an awful lot of friends here. A lot of people on his staff still have a lot of connections here as well, so I'm sure it's a nostalgic moment for him as well.
You know, he won the championship and coached in that park. The last time Jim Mora was in this stadium was in 1982 as an assistant coach with the New England Patriots when they played the Colts in the first game of the season. Well, we'll have a lot more to talk about in this evening's pregame as the band is on the field entertaining the 60,000 fans here, and tickets sold out in 110 minutes when they went on sale as these two teams prepared to play a preseason game. Talk about hungry for football. This city is indeed that. We'll have more of today's pregame in a moment here on the Saints Network.
Dropping to throw now, looking for the screen, looks like he's going to toss it over. He's going to be picked off at the 38, to the 30, down to the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown Saints.
The footballs are flying, and New Orleans is out to win the West again. And as an official member of the Saints training table, your local Popeye's Chicken and Biscuits is proud to offer the best fans in the league, the Saints Touchdown Special. Enough of our famous New Orleans-style chicken and sides to feed 4 hungry fans and then some. This month's Saints Touchdown Special includes a box of hot, fresh Popeye's chicken, your choice of any 16-ounce side item, and 4 buttermilk biscuits for only $9.99. So come on in to your neighborhood Popeyes for a Saints Touchdown Special at the super party price of just $9.99. Home cooking for the home team. That's what Popeye's Saints Touchdown Special is all about. Pick one up today.
Right now at Sears Brand Central, you can get a top-mount refrigerator from Kenmore with adjustable glass shelves and gallon-sized door space for just $620. Or pay just $570 with $50 in Sears bucks from this week's paper. Or use your Sears bonus bucks to save from $200 to $100 off any other regular-priced appliances or electronics. Only at Sears Brand Central. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. See store and newspaper for details.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck & Company.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
There may be concerns about this evening's game because for the second straight week, the Saints will face one of the best quarterbacks in the game in Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins. Last week, of course, Warren Moon, who didn't need much time in the offensive backfield, riddled the Saints passing in the first half in Houston's 33-3 win over the New Orleans Saints. This week, it's Dan Marino, who's thrown for over 25,000 yards in his career. What is it about that so-called quick release, though, of Dan Marino that makes him so special? Well, we had a chance to visit with the defensive line coach of the Saints, John Pease, to answer just that question.
Dave, quick release is the time it takes the quarterback to decide the ball's got to be thrown and the ball to be released. And it's usually from the time when the ball's at his chest level till it's gone. And Marino is probably as quick setting and throwing the ball as anybody there is. John Elway would be in that same category. Just tremendous release. He can see we have had blitzes where nobody has been blocked, and he's seen it, and the ball's been gone before the guy can get to him.
Yeah, so the problem is that he recognizes that there is a problem and is able to escape from it faster than maybe others in the league.
He's able to escape by releasing the ball, by getting the ball gone to what he thinks will be an open receiver. He is not afraid of throwing an incompletion. That doesn't bother him. He's not going to take a sack, and why they've been so good in allowing few sacks over the years.
Coach Moore has stressed so many times that good pass defense is not only the defensive backs covering, but the pressure that the defensive line can put on a quarterback. Do you have some kind of set stopwatch time that you're going to try to achieve to get in Dan Marino's face tonight?
Well, you know, they always talk about you have to protect for 2.5. You have to be there before 2.5, and the offense has to protect for 3 full seconds. And what's probably more important, and you get a feel, a fan or someone who watches the game can get a feel of what we call rhythm. A quarterback goes back, sets, looks, gathers, throws. Joe Montana, when he is on rhythm, is almost like a poetry. It's almost like a ballet. And a Marino is like that. And Bobby Hebert, when he's on rhythm, you can see that. What you achieve to do with your pass rush is create an imbalance in that rhythm. You hit him a couple times early. Pat Swilling grabs him on the back of his jersey a couple times, and now he feels like he's got to get the ball off maybe just a little bit before he normally wants to, which will cause a high throw, a low throw, a throw that can be intercepted. And the game is such a finely tuned game that those kind of milliseconds make a big difference at the end of the throw.
How much is the offensive line who protects Dan Marino overlooked or not brought out? So much is brought out about his all-star capabilities, but what does he have in front of him?
He's got a very good left tackle, a good young player named Richmond Webb, who was a first-round draft choice a year ago, and a kid named, I think it's Greer, plays left guard. Both very young. Greer reminds you a lot of Derek Kennard, and the left tackle will remind you, Richmond Webb reminds you a lot of Richard Cooper. Great athletes, move well, still pretty young, but they do a good job, and he nothing but makes them better by being able to see things coming and getting the ball gone, and it keeps him and their offense out of trouble in the passing game.
If you were to pick a quarterback that you'd like your guys to get a final big test before preseason ends and the regular season starts, is Dan Marino at the top of the list?
Yeah, he's one of the top. He's got great release. He doesn't have the scramble ability that Randall Cunningham we're going to face next week, but I think as far as pressuring him and getting him out of rhythm, that'll be a real goal for us tonight.
Defensive line coach John Pease joining us. Marino's career stats in passing 35,386 yards, but he's done that in 9 years compared to the first place leader, Fran Tarkington's 47,003 yards over 16 years. Now these local messages. You're listening to Saints football.
Exxon Shop salutes the 26th Saints season with special savings they're passing on to you. Save with the Tiger all summer long. Stop in a local convenient Exxon Shop near you and stock up on plenty of 10K. Beat summer heat with lots of 10K. All 32-ounce flavors only 99 cents at all participating Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shops. Stock up on plenty of 10K. All 32-ounce flavors only 99 cents at all participating Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shops. Prices may vary at participating locations.
Hi, this is CJ Superstar Morgan, star of CJ and Company and Saints fan extraordinaire. Boy, I hope you guys are enjoying the ball game. And while we got this little break, I'd just like to take a moment to invite you to join me mornings from 5:30 until 10 for more music, more money, more Monica Pierre, and more fun. Also, during this time out, I say we play a little Saints music, you know, just to kind of keep you guys fired up. Hold on a second here. Maestro, if you please, Saints music there. There we go. Thank you very much. There you go. You can you just kind of hum along here, you know, to stay fired up. But if you can't hum, you can pat your foot or something. Yes, indeed. It's a Saints thing, you see. There, don't you feel better now?
CJ Superstar Morgan and Company. Mornings on Q93.
A.D. Berry here, your new friend with the Instant Request and Dedication Party, weeknights at 10. There's only one thing I ask of you, is to let them know where you're from.
This is Red and Shiny calling from the East. Yeah, this is Sonya calling from Kenner.
Gentilly, we got sweet ladies over here in Avondale.
Hi, this is Yolanda from home. I would like to hear Slow Dance by R. Kelly on Q93.
The Instant Request and Dedication Party, only on Continuous Music Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
You're listening to Q93.
Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson on a muggy, hazy evening here in Baltimore, Maryland. Temperatures up in the 80s today. We had a threat of thunderstorms just before the game, but that seems to have moved along the wayside at the present time. Let's hope the storms are down on the field between the two teams instead of from the atmosphere this evening, as I know the New Orleans and Miami folks are looking to get away from Andrew, and it seems as though it chased us all the way up here to Baltimore, Maryland. Another chase that will take place tonight, the defensive line against Dan Marino and men last week. Warren Moon had such an easy time, if that's a correct word to use, against the Saints defense. What will be the comparisons or differences between a Moon last week and a Marino tonight?
Well, David, of course, it's a totally different type of offense, and I think the Saints saw enough of the run and shoot last week. It was at full gear, and the Saints really didn't show up for that game. I think that's got to be somewhat concerning, Jim, for Jim Moore tonight. We mentioned earlier, I think this team wants to come away, or Jim Moore wants to come away from this game tonight, certainly with of course, with a win, but also feeling better about itself as a football team. It's not a good atmosphere when you get blown out like that. And I would be concerned because Dan Marino's the type of guy that can light it up real quick.
That's true, but you know, remember the game last year, the last game of preseason, the Dolphins and the Saints? Marino threw 3 interceptions on his first 3 possessions. One was a 10-yard interception for return for a touchdown by Frank Warren. At the time, the Dolphins had a lot of people who weren't in camp. They had a ton of holdouts. Marino had just signed that huge contract, and there was a lot of pressure on him. He was being booed down in Miami when we did that preseason game a year ago.
I know. I was with Steve Sidwell. We were out on the field earlier and visiting with Dan Marino, who really is, I think he's the best quarterback in football, and he's a great guy. And he was talking about his outstanding performance last year against the Saints. Speaking of great quarterbacks, I was kind of detained a little bit there. Johnny Unitas is down on the field. He's got on his number 19, and they've got some ceremony going on with a bunch of kids down there. And I think John's got arm trouble and rotator cuff trouble, elbow trouble, and so they wanted him throwing a pass, but they had him pitching to a little halfback, and he threw a long pass to Eddie Hinton, the former great Colt receiver.
Well, the Saints have injury problems. Not making the trip at receiver are Quinn Early and Floyd Turner, and Wesley Carroll is doubtful tonight. That probably allowed Nathaniel Bolton another week on this squad, and there are 3 players still trying to make the squad, with still the thought of Eric Martin in the future. Torrance Small, Marcus Dowdell, and Patrick Newman, with Newman and Small getting the start tonight. We'll talk about receivers coming up in just a moment. Now these network messages on the Saints Network.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy 1 round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for 1 night. By the way, this offer doesn't include the $3 local airport tax at Tulsa, Las Vegas, and Oakland. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends fly free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
Keep your car's engine in shape with Pennzoil Motor Oil from Walmart. Pennzoil Motor Oil from Walmart gives your car's engine the protection needed against heat, cold, and friction. And Walmart has Pennzoil Motor Oil available in straight and multiple viscosity grades. So for world-class protection for your car's engine, pick up some Pennzoil Motor Oil. It will keep your car in shape, and at the Walmart price, your budget will be fit. Walmart. Always.
Steve Stonebreaker for Tabasco brand products.
I spent most of my NFL career as a linebacker. Now that I have my own restaurant, you could say I went from bruising and breaking ribs to serving the world's best baby back ribs. Like a good game plan, a good recipe has to contain all the right ingredients. At Stonebreaker's Restaurant in Metairie, we proudly feature Tabasco Bloody Mary mix and Tabasco sauce. We always make Tabasco a part of our lineup at Stonebreaker's. It's a Louisiana legend.
We told you of the injury problem at wide receiver for the Saints. The receivers coach is Steve Walters, and I asked him today if there's anyone remaining at that practice session to coach nowadays.
We're kind of beat up, Dave. We've got 4 guys healthy. They're going to get a lot of playing time tonight, which will be good for them.
You know, we've talked plenty of times in the past about the defensive back holdouts finally coming to camp, but all these other guys getting repetitions to make that position deeper. In kind of a sick sense, are these younger guys making the position deeper by getting more of the playing time this preseason?
Well, no question it's helped them. They've gotten a lot of playing time this preseason and a lot of snaps in practice, especially the last couple of weeks. The situation is still we're either going to have 4 or 5 receivers. So most of these guys that are playing tonight are playing for a spot on the team, playing for a job, and they realize that, and I think you'll see a great effort from them.
Are you limited in what you can do with the receiver position just because of the numbers you have?
Somewhat. We're a little bit limited because of the depth. I mean, if one of 4 gets hurt, then you can't play 4 at a time. So it limits a little bit what you can do. But hopefully they'll make it through the game all right. And if they do, we won't be limited in what we've planned to do.
Has there been any communication problems with the younger players, with the quarterbacks, and knowing what routes to take? The new guys coming in and trying just to learn where they're supposed to go.
I think that's always a problem. That's part of experience, part of getting playing time, and that's always going to be a problem. It takes a new guy a while for the quarterbacks to get used to him and him to get used to the quarterback.
Steve, no one likes to lose, and I'm sure these guys, they want to win tonight's ball game, and they play in these positions, not full well knowing they're going to be on this team. How have their mental approaches been, let's just say, in practice, knowing that Floyd and Quinn have been out, Wesley has had maybe a problem or 2? How's their attitude been in knowing that they've got to pull the slack up?
Oh, it's been great. I think they're looking forward to getting a lot of playing time, and good bunch of guys to work with, a good attitude, so that hasn't been a problem at all. I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
Steve Walters, the receivers coach of the New Orleans Saints, and it's not like they have bad talent to work with in coaching camp, because even though they're young, Torrance Small and Marcus Dowdell have shown great promise, and Patrick Newman's probably had his best preseason in his couple of years in pro ball.
Well, I'm sure Marcus and Torrance Small never dreamed they'd get to play this much or have this much of an opportunity during the preseason. They've really played the majority of the football at the wide receiver position for the Saints.
Jim, also in looking at the folks that are playing instead of the folks that might be playing, how much does that mean a difference in what we would typically see in the real New Orleans Saints offense?
Well, I think it'll mean quite a bit. I wanted to ask Archie, what does it mean for a quarterback who might not be throwing to any of the top 4 receivers he might be playing with next week as far as timing in the last preseason game?
It's kind of tough, Jim, and it's not really what you want. Timing's a word, and it's very important this time of the year, and you're getting ready for the regular season, and not so much in a game, but in practice. You need those guys. Those are the guys you want to work with, and everyone is a little bit different. And that's a case here. Bobby Hebert, at least I guess in practice, or especially in a game. He's gotten more work with Marcus Dowdell than he has certainly with Eric Martin for sure. But you know, the last probably this week and next week with Quinn Early and Floyd Turner.
Well, it may be frustrating here in the preseason. We'll see if it helps depth-wise coming up in the regular season. Let's pause for these messages. You're listening to Saints Football.
T-Tiger Ski Lodge, 3224 Edenport Avenue is your New Orleans Saints sports bar. Starting with Monday night, men's night out. Come enjoy a sexy baby doll lingerie show starting at 9 with $1.50 pitcher drink specials all night. Thursday night, it's Jaeger night at the Ski Lodge with Jaegerettes leading the cheers as you watch the Saints take on the Dolphins with $1.25 Jaeger. Saturday, $1.50 pitcher and 2-for-1 long necks. The bungee running competition continues with the finals on Labor Day. T-Tiger Ski Lodge, 3224 Edenport Avenue in Metairie. Almost by A Confidential.
Bluebell homemade ice cream is the ice cream on the cake. It's the tip of the top, the cream of the crop, like having your own ice cream shop. Bluebell homemade ice cream is homemade country style. And Bluebell is better by a country smile.
Join our health club. Just dive into a bowl of Bluebell frozen yogurt. You can pick non-fat or low-fat. They're both cholesterol-free, low in calories, and high in calcium. It's a great way to exercise your options.
Bluebell homemade ice cream is homemade country style. And Bluebell is better by a country smile.
Look for Bluebell frozen yogurt at all Swagman supermarkets and County Market in Slidell.
Here's what people are saying about continuous music Q93's Oldies Hour Plus Lunch Hour.
All right. Could you play I'll Call Your Name by Swift? Thank you. All right.
I'm telling you, folks are just wild about the Oldies Hour Plus Lunch Hour on continuous music Q93.
Sounds good.
Need I say more? It's the Oldies Hour Plus Lunch Hour on continuous music Q93 tomorrow at noon.
You're listening to Q93.
Welcome back to Baltimore. Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning, Jim Henderson, and crew. Usually in this section we get an outsider's perspective. ESPN is here to cover the game this evening, and so is Joe Theismann, who played quarterback for the Washington Redskins, is the color analyst for the network. You know, the network covers these games as we do, and we take them very serious. It is a preseason game where the coaches get to look at a lot of things. I asked Joe how serious does his network take these previews.
We take every game very serious. For us, it's a production. You know, we have a responsibility to the fans, number one. We have a responsibility, I think, to the players. And, you know, I look at it personally because there could be some young guy out there, you know, starting with this game tomorrow night. After this game, there's 6 days for coaches to make decisions on players that may or may not stay with their football team. And if a young man goes out and does well, let's say the number factor doesn't work out for him in New Orleans or Miami, maybe he fills a void someplace else. So if he plays well, and I'll give him the proper accolades and say, hey, look, the guy really has done well, he might be able to go on and continue in a job. So I think from my point of view as an analyst and a broadcaster, the fans obviously want to see a football game, and I'm going to do my job to show it to them. Secondly, there's an opportunity for a young man to go on and carry his job. We take it seriously. I know the players are going to take it seriously, and after listening to Coach Moore's press conference after last week's game, and as a matter of fact, you know, I just talking to him, found out there actually was somebody who did vomit in the stands last week, that he's going to want his football team to play well. Coaches, and having played in the league as long as I have and been around the preseason as long as I have, the last game before the regular season is one you want to play well in. You want to set the tone for the opening game.
Okay, defensive backs get some criticism in New Orleans sometimes. They just added all three of the holdouts. Two may get some playing time in this evening's ball game more than others. And also the defensive line, what better test than to have Dan Marino come out and have to go after him in the first quarter or so?
Well, I think it's a great test. I think going up against the Dolphins as a football team is a great test. They've added Marco Coleman, Troy Vincent, who really isn't going to play because of a pulled hamstring, but Marco Coleman will give an awful lot to look at on the defensive side of the ball. So Bobby Hebert, I think, wants to become a little bit more sharp. You know, Bobby took almost a year off, so it's going to take. He's still working on his timing. He's still getting back and getting comfortable. I think he's almost all the way back. And Dan Marino, nobody gets rid of the ball quicker. We always used to talk about Joe Namath's release, but Dan Marino's got the fastest release in football. Got some good wide receivers that'll test the DBs. I'll guarantee you will see the New Orleans secondary come up and tattoo those Miami Dolphin receivers tomorrow night.
Joe Theismann from ESPN. More in a moment. This is the Saints Network.
Right now at Sears Brand Central, you can get a top-mount refrigerator from Kenmore with adjustable glass shelves and gallon-sized door space for just $620. Or pay just $570 with $50 in Sears bucks from this week's paper. Or use your Sears bonus bucks to save from $200 to $100 off any other regular-priced appliances or electronics. Only at Sears Brand Central. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. See store and newspaper for details.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now, you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save on Jeep Cherokee, Eagle Talon, Eagle Summit Wagon, and the legendary Jeep Wrangler. Hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation. Jeep and Eagle, official sponsors of the 92 U.S. Olympic team.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today. This radio station is your official source for the latest information on the New Orleans Saints as they go through the battles of the gridiron season here in the National Football League. Daily on many of these stations, you can hear the Saints Today, a look at the Saints organization with comments from players, coaches, and others that make up the Saints organization. The Saints Today is heard mornings on many of these Saints radio network stations. Then each afternoon, Clear Channel Sports proudly presents the Jim Moore Journal, a daily visit with the head coach of the Saints. David Garrett and Coach Jim Moore look at personnel, injuries, upcoming opponents, and a lot more. Afternoons on many of these Saints radio network stations. The Saints Today and the Jim Moore Journal, two daily sources of the latest on your New Orleans Saints. Heard on many of these stations from Clear Channel Sports on the New Orleans Saints radio network.
Now tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Saints Network. Torrance Small and Patrick Newman will get the start at wide receivers tonight. Bobby Hebert, who's prescribed to play the entire first half, will start at quarterback. It's Fred McAfee at halfback and Craig Hayward at fullback tonight. At tight end for the Saints, Hobie Brenner will get the start with Stan Brock at right tackle, Derek Kennard at right guard, Joel Hilgenberg at center, Jim Dombrowski at left guard, and Richard Cooper at left tackle. The Saints on defense at right defensive end, it's Les Miller. Wayne Martin gets the start at left end. Jim Wilkes will start at nose tackle tonight. Ricky Jackson, Sam Mills, Vaughn Johnson, and Pat Swilling are the linebackers. Vince Buck will start at left side corner this evening with Reggie Jones at right corner, and Antonio Gibson and Keith Taylor will start at safeties with Maxey and Atkins expected to play some this evening. We'll give you the Dolphins defense now and offense later. T.J. Turner starts at left side defensive end, Alfred Oglesby at nose tackle, and Jeff Cross at right end. Marco Coleman's the left outside linebacker. The left inside linebacker is John Grimsley. On the right side, it is Mark Sander and Brian Cox. John Offerdahl is not here tonight. He has a hamstring problem and stayed home. At left corner, it's Chris Green. J.B. Bound, the right corner. Clifford Hopley will start at strong safety, and Lewis Oliver at free safety. That's this evening's pregame show. Now stay tuned for kickoff and more coming up next on the Saints Network.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy one round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for one night. By the way, this offer doesn't include the $3 local airport tax at Tulsa, Las Vegas, and Oakland. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Right now at Sears Brand Central, you can get a top-mount refrigerator from Kenmore with adjustable glass shelves and gallon-sized door space for just $620. Or pay just $570 with $50 in Sears bucks from this week's paper. Or use your Sears bonus bucks to save from $200 to $100 off any other regular-priced appliances or electronics. Only at Sears Brand Central. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. See store and newspaper for details.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
Welcome back to Baltimore. The coin toss is going on at the middle of the field right now with the Saints captains and Dolphins captains and referee Jerry Austin. And we'll hear what he has to say. The Saints have won the toss and have elected to receive for the second week in a row. The Saints win the toss and will receive the goal to our right, which is the south goal here. This field runs north-south. We're on the west side looking east. The Saints will be moving from our right to our left. In this series with the Miami Dolphins this evening, and both in preseason and in the regular season, a series the Saints have not been very successful in, Jim.
In fact, David, Jim Moore has never beaten Don Shula and the Miami Dolphins. 0-1 in preseason, 0-1 in the regular season. The Dolphins lead the preseason series 8 victories to 3. In fact, they have beaten no one more in preseason than they have the New Orleans Saints. They lead the regular season series 4 games to 1. Of course, the Saints get another crack at the Dolphins this year in the regular season when they visit the Superdome on November 29th. It's been a long time since I've been to a football game where the introductions of both teams got roundly cheered. Nobody gets booed here tonight, except maybe the announcing team.
Maybe so. I'm not sure who the favorite is.
It was interesting to hear some of the cheers. Guys from the University of Pittsburgh, Ricky Jackson and Dan Marino, got huge crowd response, and also Sam Mills from his days in the USFL with the Stars got a very warm round of applause.
Well, Don Shula got a pretty nice
yes, he
response,
did.
too. Of course, Don Shula played here with these Baltimore Colts in 1953 through 1956 and coached the Colts, of course, in 1963 through 69.
All right, Pete Stoyanovich will kick off for the Dolphins. And back deep to receive for the Saints in the south end zone will be Vaughn Dunbar, the rookie, and Fred McAfee, both standing at the goal line. Our referee tonight is Jerry Austin. It is a muggy evening, temperature high in the 80s today. And this final preseason game in front of what was sold out with 60,000, a lot of no-shows here in Baltimore, is underway. A high end-over-end kick. And Vaughn Dunbar takes it at the 3, to the 5. He's up to the 10, 15, to the 20. Tries to get outside, and it is blistered at the 22-yard line. A run back of about 19 yards for the Saints' first-year product out of Indiana, and the Saints will have it 1st and 10.
Well, that's an element of the kicking game that Jim Moore has been very disappointed in, the return game. In fact, the widely dispersed quote of last week, people were vomiting in the stands in the first half, he said, because of the Saints' kicking game. That time it wasn't a terribly crisp return, but at least the Saints start on the plus side of the 20, unlike last week against the Oilers.
It's Hayward in the backfield along with McAfee. Bobby Hebert is the quarterback. Football at the middle of the field laterally. Patrick Newman wide to the left and Torrance Small wide to the right. The tight end is Hobie Brenner, and he's lined up on the left side. Long signal count with a 5-man defensive front. Hebert straight back to pass on 1st down. Throws in the flat. Caught immediately and downed immediately by McAfee. And the defender on the play for the Miami Dolphins making the stick was Lifford Hobley, who leads this team in tackles with a total of 21.
And the former LSU Tiger, the 6th-year man, who is bidding to stay with this team and playing at strong safety. They've got a number of injuries defensively. One is Jarvis Williams, who oftentimes starts at strong safety for them.
Bobby threw right into the teeth of the Miami defense. They threw to the weak side, and that's where the safety was lined up.
Hebert now sees a 4-man defensive front with wideout Newman split very far to the left side. 2nd down and 7 after that 3-yard passing gain, and Hebert straight back to pass once again. Looks off one receiver, throws long down the field for Newman, and it's overthrown and incomplete. Newman was at the 30 when the pass passed him by. J.B. Brown defending.
Good play on 2nd down. The Saints in an I formation usually means run, straight drop back pass, and Bobby tries to look off the free safety, which he does, and then throw the post pattern to the flanker, who's Patrick Newman. Ball just overthrown, and really Patrick did not beat J.B. Brown.
Now Brown had him well covered. Cornerback's a real sore spot with this team. Of course, they drafted Troy Vincent as their first pick in the first round, but he is injured with a pulled hamstring.
Yeah, I was talking to one of their coaches. Of course, Troy Vincent, like a lot of number ones, held out for 2 or 3 weeks, came to camp. He had him for 3/4 of one game last week, and he pulled his hamstring.
Dalton Hilliard's in the lineup now, and so is Nate Bolton. Bolton wide to the left. Hilliard is the blocking back for Hebert out of the shotgun. 3rd and 7, back to pass. Looks over the middle, throws, and it's caught with a flag on the play at the 40-yard line. Saints have first down pending the flag, and that is Torrance Small, the rookie out of Alcorn State, the 5th-round draft choice, making the catch at the 40-yard line. A 15-yard game will read the flag.
Good throw by Bobby Hebert. Excellent route by Torrance Small, using his size to get away.
Illegal use of hands against the defense is the call by referee Jerry Austin. It will be declined, and the Saints will have their first down of the game.
We mentioned last week Torrance Small is probably the receiver that could be closest to Eric Martin as far as the way he uses his strength to get away from defenders on bump and run coverage.
So the Saints are successful in their first 3rd down opportunity. We'll get in an ID right after this play. Wide receiver is Newman to the right side. Torrance Small splits wide to the near side. Craig Hayward is the blocking fullback, with the running back, Fred McAfee, on 1st and 10 from the Saints' 40-yard line. McAfee, the handoff, a big hole, 40 up to the 45, and a very quick hole up the middle. Blocking the way was Derek Kennard in a quick 5-yard gain. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints football.
WQUE FM New Orleans, the official FM station of the New Orleans Saints.
Gain of 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and 5.
Second down and 5 from the 45-yard line. Wide receivers Small and Newman are split to the near side, with Newman in the slot, now in motion from left to right. Hayward and McAfee in the backfield behind Hebert, who hands off to McAfee again. Good hole, 40, 45, 50, 47-yard line.
It's like the Saints have loosened them up a little bit, came out, began the game throwing. A couple of running plays now. A nice hole on the right side on the previous play. Straight off tackle play to the left side. Great block by Ironhead Hayward at the point. McAfee shoots through the hole.
Dolphins last year were 27th on defense against the run in the NFL. One of their main problems is at nose tackle, where they are light. Alfred Oglesby just weighs 278. Sean Lee, 280. It was Sean Lee who was moved aside by Hilgenberg on that last run.
9-yard gain that time for the Saints, down to the 46-yard line in Dolphin territory. Saints now have 2 first downs. Wide receivers, 2 of them. Stowers on the left, Brenner on the right, 2 wide receivers, and the handoff goes to Hayward, the only running back, and he busts through one would-be tackler and gains down to the 42-yard line. A pickup of 3 or 4 on the play for Craig Hayward of Pittsburgh. Saints have 2nd down and about 6.
And there's another guy they really missed. That was Mark Sander, who missed him in the backfield. He's playing for John Offerdahl, and when Offerdahl was hurt last year, their run defense fell off about 35 yards per game, and of course he's hurt again now and out of there, replaced by the first-year man out of Louisville.
2nd down and 6 from the 42-yard line. Newman comes wide to the left this time, with Torrance Small wide to the right. It's been the same lineup, with the exception of Stowers being inserted once and Nate Bolton coming in. This is the 7th play of the Saints drive that started at their own 22-yard line. It's a very long signal count for Bobby Hebert on 2nd down and 6. Fake handoff, and the play action looks right, throws right, caught by Hayward, who tried then to hook up the field at the 38-yard line, but was tackled immediately on the play. It's a gain downfield of a little bit, but not enough for a first down. We'll see 3rd down coming up after Jarvis Williams makes the tackle.
Well, I presume Bobby checked off on that play at the line of scrimmage. It's the same play that the Saints opened the game with, a play action pass. Now, the Dolphins are making a nice adjustment there. They're taking their strong safety and bringing him up to the weak side. You actually want to be running that play the other way, away from the strong safety. So we'll see if the Saints make that adjustment later.
Saints break huddle, and Greg Scales is the tight end on the right side this time, with Hobie Brenner, the tight end, on the left. 1 receiver split wide to the right. That's Patrick Newman, and split backfield this time. Hayward and Hilliard. Newman in motion right to left on 3rd and 1. Handoff Hayward. He bulldozes his way down to where he needs to go, to the 36-yard line. The ball comes free, and it'll just depend on the spot. It'll be a very close run for Craig Hayward to get a first down.
Actually, pretty good effort by Ironhead. Not much hole there, as he was able to avoid the first tackler.
Timeout has been called, as we'll have a measurement. If you've been putting off your car's oil change, do it now. Today's 4- and 6-cylinder cars are really tough on motor oils. Drive into Walmart Tire and Express Lube in Slidell and get a complete Castrol GTX oil change. And while you're there, register to win a Castrol mini car. The job will be done fast and done right using Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against both viscosity and thermal breakdown.
about a foot short, and it looks like Hebert is going to come on, and the Saints will go for it here.
Just shy of the 36-yard line. That's where the Saints need to go. This drive started at their own 22-yard line. The Saints are now 1 for 2 on third down conversions, and Hebert stays in the game.
Well, I think this is something a coaching staff wants to experience during the preseason, some fourth down opportunities.
Fourth down and inches for the Saints. Split backfield, one wide out. Unbalanced line to the left, and a long signal count. Handoff goes to Ironhead, and he gets it easily down to the 35, inside the 35-yard line. The Saints are successful on the gamble.
Well, a lot of times when people say, if you're going to go for it on 4th and 1 or you're 3rd and short, run one back behind another back. The Saints choose a straight handoff to the fullback, but remember, he's running right off a right guard, Derek Kennard. That's not a bad one to run behind.
Statistically, that will go as a 3-yard gain from the 37 down to the 34-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 34. The third first down for the Saints in the ball game and in this drive. New Orleans has eaten up all of the first quarter with 9:37 remaining here in the first frame. Hayward, McAfee behind Hebert. Wide receiver split left and right. Football in the middle of the field laterally. 4 men on the defensive front for the Miami Dolphins. Hebert, fake handoff, back to pass, good protection in the flat. McAfee, 30. Oh, and a good trip made at the 27-yard line that probably saved 10 more yards. Good defensive play that time by Pats, or rather, we'll check the number, but good defensive play by the Dolphins making the shoestring tackle.
I think that was John Grimsley who was in on the tackle. He's playing for Cliff Odom at the left inside linebacker. Odom is a holdout. This looks like the Saints offense of old, unlike the aberration last week against the Oilers. Hebert's being well protected, mixing up the short passing game with the running game efficiently.
Good point, Jim. Excellent mixture in their play selection.
And also thanks to spotter Archie Manning for helping us out on that play. It's 2nd down with 2 yards to go from the 26-yard line. With a slot and a wide out to the right, and Newman in motion out of the slot right to the left. Hebert the snap. The handoff goes to McAfee looking for a blocker. Finds one. 25 down to the 21-yard line. The ball comes free. There's a big scramble for it. I don't think the play was called dead. The officials are saying the Saints recovered and probably enough for a first down, but back upfield about 3 yards from where McAfee gained to the 21.
Yeah, that was a tough break. McAfee looked like he'd have just a yard or two. Found a little slot there, got forward to 5 or 6, but fumbled it back another 4 yards.
It is a first down for the Saints, though, down to the 24-yard line. Fred McAfee carrying the mail and picking up the Saints' 4th first down of the ball game, 1st and 10.
Boy, I saw the replay there. That's a terrible call if they bring that back. He was definitely down. The ball was stripped away from him as he was on the ground. Didn't you agree, Jim?
I agree thoroughly, but fortunately the Saints were able to pick up the first down even with the fumble as Patrick Newman covered it.
Needing to reach the 14 for a new 1st and 10. This is the 11th play of the drive. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. 2 wide outs to the right. Handoff comes back to the left to McAfee. Little running room down to about the 22-yard line before he is stepped on there by Brian Cox. 5th-round draft choice last year. 2nd-year player out of Western Illinois for the Miami Dolphins. And we have an injury on the field. And it is the man who made the tackle, Brian Cox.
Dolphins are real high on Brian Cox, as they are on their #1 draft choice, Marco Coleman.
Okay, we'll take time out. 7:26 left to go first quarter. There is no score. You're listening to Saints football.
Tonight on Fox.
It's a brand new episode of The Simpsons.
Good, which one?
Or and get huge discounts, great selection, and cash back from the manufacturer. That's 889-8424. Royal Mazda, the dealership that's different.
Then, meet Detroit's hottest talk radio host.
We're talking male sensitivity. Next caller.
Yeah, Martin. I share everything with my wife. I even cry in front of her.
Do you shave your face or your bikini line?
Excuse me?
Man, look at the front of your drawers. You're missing a flap, girlfriend.
Martin Long stars in the premiere of the new Fox comedy, Martin. Then, when you grow up tough, you hold on to the one thing that really matters. For 7 young people from the Heights, it's a rock and roll dream. The Heights series premiere tonight after an all-new Simpsons and the premiere of Martin on Fox.
Catch an exciting night of television starting with The Simpsons tonight at 7 p.m. on WNOL TV Fox 38.
With the help of the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital, you can maximize your potential in sports. If sports injuries occur, you'll have comfort in knowing the Sports Medicine Center is there.
State-of-the-art medical technology, physical rehabilitation, and fitness equipment, plus the multi-specialty staff at the Sports Medicine Center can enhance your body's performance. Sports Medicine Center can prevent, diagnose, treat, and rehabilitate injuries far more effectively than ordinary hospitals or health spas. See for yourself. Call 885-3488 for more information.
Hi, CJ Superstar Morgan here, along with one of my many adoring fans.
You're unbelievable! Everyone's listening to you!
And what a responsibility. CJ and Company, mornings and continuous music, Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
You're listening to Q93.
On the 22-yard
Second down and 8 from the 22-yard line for the Saints, the 12th play of the drive, needing to reach the 14 for a new 1st and 10. Here comes Dalton Hilliard wide to the left this time, with two flankers and a slot wide to the right, and only Hayward blocking for Bobby Hebert on 2nd and 8, who rolls to his right, pump fakes, throws for the end zone, touchdown Saints, Patrick Newman wide open on a great pump fake by Bobby Hebert.
Got a young corner over there, Chris Green, who took the fake. Nice play by the Saints. You mentioned the formation, Dave. Dalton Hilliard split to the left, two receivers to the right, and then Bobby Hebert rolls to the right and sets up a formation that the Saints have used quite a bit in preseason, primarily with Mike Buck. Kind of a pump fake
in the air, and it is good. Timeout on the field, 6:59 left to go, first quarter of play. The Saints are on the board first. It's New Orleans 7, Miami fresh out. Now this for Popeyes and your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. The footballs are flying, and New Orleans is out to win the West again. And as an official member of the Saints training table, your local Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits is proud to offer the best fans in the league, the Saints Touchdown Special. Enough of our famous New Orleans-style chicken and sides to feed 4 hungry fans and then some. This month's Saints Touchdown Special includes a box of hot, fresh Popeyes chicken, your choice of any 16-ounce side item, and 4 buttermilk biscuits for only $9.99. So come on in to your neighborhood Popeyes for a Saints Touchdown Special at the super party price of just $9.99. Home cooking for the home team. That's what Popeyes Saints Touchdown Special is all about. Pick one up today.
Dropping back to the end zone straight, dancing around, throwing to the sideline, and is picked off by Troy Cook at the 30. He's to the 28. He's down to the 20-yard line, diving forward to the 19. The Saints have it anyway.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now, you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save on Jeep Cherokee, Eagle Talon, Eagle Summit Wagon, and the legendary Jeep Wrangler. Hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation. Jeep and Eagle, official sponsors of the 92 U.S. Olympic team.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today. Southwest Airlines, the 7th largest airline in America, offers over 1,200 daily departures to 33 destinations at the lowest unrestricted fare. Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. Nice drive by the Saints, 13 plays, 78 yards, taking the first 8 minutes and 1 second off the first quarter clock. That drive was kept alive, you might remember, at the Miami 36 when the Saints went for it on 4th and inches, and Hayward picked it up.
It looked a little different than last week's game, huh? Now, what was the big difference there in the Saints drive? What was the big difference, Dave, from last week?
No penalties that time, no fumbles, absolutely no turnovers.
And pass protection was very good. Bobby had plenty of time to set up and throw, find his people.
I knew you would tell us.
Good-looking drive.
Morton Anderson, for the first time this year, will kick the ball off. And it is a high end over end kick and drives the kick returner Bernie Parmalee back to the end zone, who puts a knee to the ground to get the touchback.
Got to be a good feeling for Morton Anderson. Got that ball about 3-4 yards deep in the end zone. First kickoff of the
6:52 left to go, first quarter. There's timeout. You're listening to Saints football.
A.D. Berry here, your new friend with the instant request and dedication party, weeknights at 10. There's only one thing I ask of you, is to let them know where you're from.
This is Red and Johnny calling from the East. Yeah, this is Sonia calling from Kenner.
Gentilly, we got sweet ladies over here in Avondale.
Hi, this is Yolanda from home. I would like to hear Slow Dance by R. Kelly on Q93.
The instant request and dedication party, only on continuous music Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
The right beer now, and the difference is clear.
Coors Light, the crisp tasting beer that's mountains above the rest. Remember to reach for the silver bullet when there's no room for filling up.
Coors Light, taste of the Rockies. Coors Light, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Before you make a loan to fix your home, find the lender who will fix your rate. Come into Jefferson Savings and Loan. Our low home improvement rates let you know up front you've got a good deal. And our fixed rates let you know it will stay good for the life of your loan. When the time is right, the place is Jefferson Savings for all your financial needs. Jefferson Savings and Loan Association, an equal housing lender.
Hi, CJ Superstar Morgan here, along with one of my many adoring fans.
You're unbelievable! Everyone's listening to you!
And what a responsibility. CJ and Company, mornings and continuous music, Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
You are listening to Q93.
Gone is Mark Clayton with the neck injury. He stayed home. It's Tony Martin and Mark Duper, the wideout. Dan Marino is the quarterback. Bobby Humphrey is the running back. And Tony Page, activated today, is the fullback, and the handoff goes to Bobby Humphrey from the 20, quickly up to the 27-yard line as these fans were fired up for that first Miami play.
Well, Bobby Humphrey has had a rather quiet preseason for the Dolphins. Of course, they got him in that big trade with the Denver Broncos, sending Sammy Smith westward. He'd carried 19 times for 59 yards prior to that one, an average of just 3.1. He's only scored one touchdown. His longest run has been 9 yards.
Coming wide to the near side this time is Mark Duper with Tony Martin in the slot to the near side out of the I formation. Tony Page and Bobby Humphrey behind Dan Marino at quarterback. Handoff goes to Humphrey again, looking for a hole up the middle, and it appears to have gotten the first down. Yes, and he has, just over the 30-yard line. Pat Swilling in on the tackle that time for the Saints. It's a 3-yard gain, and Humphrey's carried the mail both times and picks up the Dolphins' first down.
Dolphins have opened the game in a slot formation, tight end to their weak side. I formation with Humphrey, the deep I, 2 running plays to him.
Coming wide to the near side this time is Tony Martin. Wide to the far side, or the left side in the formation, is Mark Duper. And the fullback this time has gone to the slot. That's Tony Page, who was activated just today. Handoff again goes to Humphrey, straight up the middle. Conservative start for the offense for the Dolphins, a 3-yard gain to the 33. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
It's incredible when you think of the teams Don Shula has won with. He's won with a balanced offense. He's won with the running game. He's won with no running game. And recently it's been no running game. They haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since Delvin Williams way back in 1978.
Of course, Bobby Humphrey had 2 1,000-yard seasons with the Denver Broncos.
Humphrey's still in there. Page is from Virginia Tech, a 9th-year player, was picked up by the Dolphins in Plan B in 1990. He's one of the split backs this time on the left side behind Dan Marino and Bobby Humphrey, who was received in that trade from Denver this past year, 4th-year player out of Alabama. Delay handoff to Humphreys, trying to sweep left, has little running room. Sam Mills makes the tackle at the 36-yard line, a pickup of about 3 yards for Bobby Humphrey in the Miami offense.
Saints came with a nickel defense, 5 defensive backs in the game, but Miami had just a vanilla offense, split backs. Looks kind of peculiar. Usually when the team brings in their nickel offense, the other team counters with 4 wide receivers. Now, I think Miami does make some multiple substitutions on 3rd and a long 3. 4 wide receiver set for Miami in shotgun formation.
It's Duper and Robert Clark to the left side. Tony Martin is one of the wideouts to the near side. Dan Marino in the shotgun on 3rd down and 3 from the 37. Back to pass. Throws out of the flat. A diving catch, but it's incomplete as it goes in and out of the hands of Duper. And it's 4th down and 3, and the Dolphins are held by the Saints defense as the punt teams come on the field.
Duper's had very little work during the preseason. Actually, the stats I have doesn't even show him with a catch.
I've got him with 6 receptions in preseason and 1 touchdown, but he missed practice prior to the Dolphins coming up here. He did catch the plane at the last second. Of course, he's from Louisiana and apparently was very concerned about his family and loved ones back in that state with the hurricane approaching.
Roby to punt. That's Reggie Roby, and he booms a kick. The line of scrimmage was the 37, and Patrick Newman lets this one go into the end zone. So that is a 63-yard punt off the toe of Reggie Roby. And we have timeout on the field with 3:56 left to go in the first quarter. Saints leading 7-0 with timeout. You're listening to Saints football.
Power, BC Power.
When pain puts you in a world of hurt, You need the power of BC.
Power, BC power.
I coach Little League after work, so I'm tired when I get there.
BC power in the powder, the power of BC.
Then I'll hit well over 100 balls. Plus, there's lots of bending and twisting and throwing.
BC power in the powder, the power of BC.
Later, my back feels like a wrung-out dish rag. And that's where the BC comes in.
You need something to see you through, something strong so you feel like new.
You know, I might have stopped coaching a long time ago if it wasn't for BC.
BC power in the powder, the power of BC.
No matter where you're hurting, BC stops pain fast.
The power of BC.
Use as directed. Tom Dempsey for Tabasco brand pepper sauce.
Dempsey kicks, it's on the way.
Most people remember me for that 63-yard field goal, but the things I remember most when I was kicking in other NFL cities was New Orleans' terrific food and that Louisiana legend Tabasco sauce. In fact, I came back to New Orleans to live and never stopped using those great Tabasco brand products. If you want to get that extra kick out of your favorite foods, do what the Dempseys do. Make Tabasco sauce a part of your lineup.
Ford Quality Care, proud sponsor of the New Orleans Saints radio network. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. Ford Quality Care.
It was a 63-yard punt off the toe of Reggie Roby, and Miami is totally satisfied with their kicking team. They made cuts off of all of their kicking team except for Stoyanovich and Reggie Roby, who both have done a good job.
Roby's averaging 47.3 and 13 punts in this preseason.
He had a 75-yarder earlier.
Oh. We'll have a Southwest Airlines Halo Hall of Fame clue coming up on this drive. Saints start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Bobby Hebert, the quarterback, tied in his scales on the right side. Dalton Hilliard gets the handoff. He skips across the 20 up to about the 23-yard line before he is downed on the play, and led defensively that time for the Dolphins was John Grimsley making the tackle.
Misdirection play on part of the Saints out of a offset backfield. Never really got untracked and picked up about 2. Dalton Hilliard checks out.
Hilliard coming out of the lineup. We look into the huddle and see that Marcus Dowdell has checked in, along with Torrance Small, Cooper, Dombrowski, Kennard, all in the lineup, along with Stan Brock. Hobie Brenner is the tight end on the right side. Bobby Hebert with one back behind him. 2 wideouts to the near side. That's Patrick Newman and Torrance Small with Dowdell split wide to the right. Football on the right hash mark. Hebert gets the snap on 2nd and 7. Back to pass, throws in the flat. Having to come back for it was Torrance Small. He forgot in this league you can get up and run with it as he dived and tackled himself at the 29-yard line and then didn't get back up.
Well, he thought he was still at Alcorn there for a minute. Made a nice catch, though. Bobby not real happy with himself because of the low throw.
That was kind of a weird coverage, wasn't it? It looked like Brian Cox, the linebacker, had him, and he was giving him a lot of room.
Well, Brian, that's called a walk away. The linebacker walks out on him, but he really doesn't have him. Then he dropped into a zone defense, but it looked like he dropped too deep, and Small was wide open.
The big guys in there in the backfield behind Hebert this time, Dalton Hilliard and Craig Hayward. Patrick Newman wide to the near side. Double tight end formation for the Saints. On 3rd down and 1 from the 29. Handoff goes to Hayward. 1st down. That seems almost automatic tonight as Hayward gains it up to the 33. A quick 4-yard gain and the Saints pick up 1st down number 6 tonight.
Boy, we're seeing an awful lot of encouraging things here in this first quarter. You mentioned the fact that Bobby's been well protected. Ironhead Hayward is picking up the good, tough, short yardage, the thing he was drafted for out of Pittsburgh as the number 1 choice.
Yeah, not many teams will run their short yardage plays just with one back without a lead blocker. But I guess you figure if you got a 290-pound fullback and a 305-pound right guard, that's good as a lead blocker.
Back in the lineup now is Dalton Hilliard. Wide receivers left and right. Hayward still in the backfield with an offset fullback stance. 1:45 left to go first quarter. Saints leading 7-0 from the 33-yard line. Hebert back to pass, has time, dumps it over the middle, and a great catch by Patrick Newman at the 39-yard line. About 7 yards, but he had to reach down just above his shoe tops to pull that one off the top of the turf to get the yardage for the Saints and the completion for Hebert.
Yeah, the Saints got a little more pressure that thing. I think it was Sean Lee coming in. Bobby got knocked down just as he threw. He threw the ball too low, and it was a good catch.
It'll be 2nd down and 3 from the 40-yard line. Football just upfield from the 39. This is the 5th play of the drive. Saints send their regular formation in this time with wide receivers left and right in the I formation. Hilliard and Hayward behind quarterback Bobby Hebert. Obi Brenner is the tight end on the right side. It's a four-man defensive front for the Miami Dolphins with two linebackers up on the line of scrimmage. Now one drops off. Long signal count for Hebert, who fake hands off to Hilliard back to pass and throws and completes it to Hayward for the first down as he pulls his way across the 45 up to the 48-yard line.
That was a good job by Bobby Hebert. I formation took a long. Bobby likes to do this. He likes to run that 45-second, 30-second clock right down to the 1 or 2, 3 seconds. Play action, I formation to the right. Wanted to get the ball downfield. Got a little pressure. Didn't feel comfortable. Just dumped it off to Ironhead. Came up with the first down.
It's an 8-yard pass to Ironhead Hayward up to the 48-yard line. First down and 10 for the Saints. First down number 7 this evening.
Saints are in a 3 wide receiver set, a tight end, and 1 running back.
It's Small and Newman to the right, Dowdell to the left. The running back is Dalton Hilliard behind quarterback Bobby Hebert. Hilliard gets the mail this time, gets across the 50-yard line and gains 2 more yards on his own down to about the 48. I believe they're going to spot him at the 49-yard line as the clock runs out here on the first quarter of play. It'll be second down and about 7 for the Saints, now in the territory of Miami. That's the end of the first quarter, 7-0 Saints. This is the Saints Network.
There are only so many hours in a day, so many days in a week, and if you believe time is money, you'd better be getting the most out of every business day. How? Fly Southwest Airlines, the only airline built to save you time. From the beginning, Southwest Airlines has done things differently to make your business day more productive and efficient. Just take a look at our flight schedule. It's specifically designed around the times you need to fly, with a total of 13 flights to Dallas and 16 to Houston every business day. And Southwest has one of the best on-time records in the industry, so you can get down to business a lot quicker and not waste time or money. Southwest Airlines also serves close-in, uncongested airports like Dallas Love Field and Houston Hobby, saving you time on the road, as well as cab fare. It's really very simple. While all airlines were built to fly you places, only one was built to save you time. Southwest Airlines, the most convenient airline you can fly, with the lowest unrestricted fares. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
Steve Stonebreaker for Tabasco brand products.
I spent most of my NFL career as a linebacker. Now that I have my own restaurant, you could say I went from bruising and breaking ribs to serving the world's best baby back ribs. Like a good game plan, a good recipe has to contain all the right ingredients. At Stonebreaker's Restaurant in Metairie, we proudly feature Tabasco Bloody Mary mix and Tabasco sauce. We always make Tabasco a part of our lineup at Stonebreaker's. It's a Louisiana legend.
Dave Garrett, Jim Henderson, Archie Manning back at Baltimore's Memorial Stadium. Here's our first clue in the Halo Hall of Fame contest. And listen, as if this were the player talking. In addition to my Saints career in New Orleans, I made some bread doing the commercials with the bunny, though, bigger than I was. And I was the only Saints player ever to wear the number 0. If you think you know this Halo Hall of Famer, we'll give you the address to write your answer on a postcard in just a moment. Second down, 7 yards to go for the Saints at the 49-yard line in Miami territory, just across the midfield stripe. Now moving into the wind from north to south, although the breeze has slowed down considerably from the start of the game. Hebert, handoff to Dalton Hilliard, jukes a player at the 50, then gets caught in a crowd down to about the 47-yard line. Again, our Hall of Famer clue. In addition to my Saints career in New Orleans, I made some bread doing commercials. The bunny, though, was bigger than I was. And I was the only Saints player ever to wear the number 0. If you think you know this Halo Hall of Famer, write your entry on a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines, Halo Hall of Fame Contest, 111 Veterans Boulevard, Suite 704, Metairie, Louisiana, 70005.
That's a pretty easy one, you know.
Yeah, we got that one.
We know that one.
Well, the first correct answer that mails their entry in will receive the prizes we'll talk about at halftime. Third down now from the 47-yard line. 6 yards to go. Twin sets to either side, and Patrick Newman in motion from right to left as Hebert is back to pass out of the shotgun. He's rushed out of the pocket. Fakes passing will run 45-40, 35-30, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line with the pump fake that throws someone down the field, and Hebert gets first down and a bunch more for the Saints.
Good thing for a quarterback. You find no one open, but you're able to break that plane of the rushers, then get out there. And it's got to be man-to-man coverage. All the linebackers have run with receivers or backs. Wide open field. Bobby got his yardage, did the smart thing, got out of bounds.
From the 47 down to the 26-yard line, Going to be a gain of 21 yards on the play on the run by Bobby Hebert. Needless to say, that's his longest run of the year.
Well, Bobby's not a quarterback that other teams really respect his running ability. He seldom runs, so the 4 men up front always come with an all-out rush.
First down and 10 for the Saints. Downside the 30-yard line at the 26 in Dolphin territory. Saints lead 7-0. Hebert, fake handoff to Hayward, back to pass, has time, looks, throws, caught down, 15, down to the 10, needs a block, and then is stuck down at the 7-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle put on by Chris Green, second-year player out of Illinois, but another first down now inside the 10 for the Saints on the pass to Dowdell.
Well, the Saints are just picking them apart. You can see why Don Shula went so heavily in the draft last year for defensive help. His first 5 picks in the draft in '92 were for defensive players, and you can see why they're needed.
Well, Bobby did a good job waiting on his receiver to get open, come across the zone. Dowdell makes a good catch. Good throw by Bobby.
9th first down for the Saints, a 19-yard pass play to Marcus Dowdell, trying to make this team and getting a lot of playing time tonight, as well as Small, who's wide to the left, Newman, who's wide to the right, split backfield. Dalton Hilliard and Craig Hayward behind Bobby Hebert. Hobie Brenner's the tight end on the right side from the 7-yard line. Handoff goes to Hayward, busts through the 5 and gets close to the 4, where it'll be second down and goal for the Saints.
Talking more about the Dolphins and their recent drafts, you know, you look back, and out of the last 5 number 1 picks they have made, 4 out of those 5 are no longer with the organization.
Well, that really hurts. We mentioned, I guess they had 2 picks in the first 12 picks this year. Troy Vincent, the cornerback out of Wisconsin, and Marco Coleman, the fine linebacker. Now I think a lot of people try to measure their prospects by Pat Swilling now, but I think Marco Coleman is a guy they think can be that type of player, the linebacker, and then the good rusher from the defensive end spot.
Saints have 2 wideouts to the right side this time and 2 running backs. It's second down and goal from the 5-yard line. Newman in motion from right to left. Saints leading 7-0. Handoff to Hilliard, running left, tries to get outside to the 5, to the 2, to the 1-yard line. Dalton Hilliard on the run, and a diving tackle to save Hilliard from getting into the end zone by 2 Miami players over on the far side sideline, John Grimsley, along with J.B. Brown.
Well, that's a play that takes some good blocking. It takes long blocking on the part of the tackles and the tight ends. Good blocking along that left side of the offensive line. Try to get the ball to Dalton. He runs along the line and then tries to take it out wide. Dombrowski gets a piece of his man. Ironhead tries to get to the corner, blocking on a cornerback. It's like he's holding him.
Clifford Hobley, he just engulfed him.
The football is marked at the 2-yard line. Double tight ends now. Scales has come into the ball game along with Tommy Stowers and Hobie Brenners. Stowers in motion, pitch to Hilliard, sweeping right. He dances to the end zone. Touchdown, Saints.
Well, certainly another impressive drive. Saints are making this look easy.
2-yard run by Dalton Hilliard with great blocking in front of him. Craig Hayward gets credit for part of that, and the Saints, who are dominating the possession clock in this game, score with just 2 ticks under 11 minutes in the first half, and Morton Anderson's in to tack on the extra point.
Also, Bobby Hebert, I believe unofficially, is 8 for 9 tonight.
Saints getting ready to make it 14-0, scoring a touchdown on a 22-yard pass to Patrick Newman in the first quarter. Now Dalton Hilliard on a 2-yard run after a very long drive. Here's the snap, Barnhart's hold, the left-footed kick of Morton Anderson's good. Timeout on the field. 10:58 left to go in the first half. It's the Saints 14 and the Dolphins nothing. You're listening to Saints football.
So you feel like reminiscing, right? Well, let us take you back. Join us for Continuous Music Q93's Oldies All Request Lunch Hour. Hi, this is LBJ, and we want you to join us Monday through Friday, 12 noon, right here on Continuous Music Q93. All of your favorites from yesterday and yesteryear. Be there.
Exxon Shop salutes the 26th Saints season with special savings they're passing on to you. Save with the Tiger all summer long. Stop in a local convenient Exxon Shop near you and stock up on plenty of 10K. Beat summer heat with lots of 10K. All 32-ounce flavors only 99 cents at all participating Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shops. Stock up on plenty of 10K. All 32-ounce flavors only 99 cents at all participating Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shops. Prices may vary at participating locations.
Hey, George,
Sarge, I heard you just purchased a new heat pump.
Yeah, Bill had it installed last week.
Why in the world did you buy a heat pump?
Well, a heat pump's one piece of equipment that provides comfortable heating and cooling with just the flick of a switch. And for each unit of electricity that goes in, you get 3 units of heat out. I mean, it's like getting a $100 value for only $33.
George, where'd you get your heat pump?
We got it from a contractor member of Louisiana Heat Pump Association. And if you're interested in moving up to the heat pump, just call 1-800-537-4255. They'll provide you with a list of qualified member contractors in your area.
The election is coming up. Who are you going to vote for? Well, vote for continuous music, more winners, the Saints, and more money.
When you cast your ballots, vote Continuous Music Q93 for more winners and always more than 93 in a row.
You're listening to Q93.
Saints complete a 12-play, 80-yard drive with Dalton Hilliard's 2-yard run. Morton Anderson will kick off after he put the PAT on. It's Williams and Parmalee back deep to receive, and the kickoff goes to Mike Williams at the 2, to the 5, up to the 10, gets outside to the 20, and then is smothered right at the 20-yard line by a couple of Saints defenders. Damon Winston makes the tackle.
Proud sponsors of Saints football are Pennzoil and Gumout, both available in all Walmart stores. Quality products, Pennzoil and Gumout. The Dolphins have had the ball for 5 plays and a punt with 10:48 to play in the second quarter.
Guess who was on the tackle on that kickoff just then? Gene Atkins.
Nice to see Gene in there. We'll see Gene Atkins and Brett Maxey in tonight's contest, according to Coach Mora. Out of the I formation, Dan Marino, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. It's still Tony Page at fullback, and Bobby Humphrey is not in there. Getting the handoff is Anthony Craver. Aaron Craver, who's rushed for 95 yards on 27 carries and 1 touchdown in preseason. Games from the 20 up to the 22-yard line. It'll be second down and a long 8.
We got a report Bobby Humphrey got a finger in the eye, but should return to the game.
Correct to second down and 9 after the 1-yard gain by Aaron Craver, second-year man out of Fresno State. He was drafted 3rd last year by the Dolphins. 2 wideouts to the near side. Mark Duper along with Tony Martin. Out of the I formation and tied in on the right side is Greg Beatty. Dan Marino set a 5-man defensive front for the Saints. Straight back to pass on second and long. Goes a long, long pass to Duper upfield. He gets it at the 40 on a circus catch down to the 39-yard line. Defending on the play, Reggie Jones, but there is the prowess of Mark Duper.
Duper's got the great speed, over 1,000 yards receiving on 70 catches. Last year did not have as many touchdowns as his counterpart, Mark Clayton. A little pressure on Marino, but he handles it so well, just set in the pocket, ball thrown a little bit behind Duper. He makes a nice one-handed catch as he beats Reggie Jones on the deep pattern.
It is a 40-yard pass play to Super Duper down to the 39-yard line in Saints territory. That's only the second Miami first down of the game. Split backfield and 2 wideouts to the right side this time. In motion from right to left is Tony Martin. Handoff once again goes to Aaron Craver, sweeping left and gains a couple of yards. From the 39 down to about the 37.
You saw evidence why every coach prior to playing the Dolphins and Dan Marino say, well, we want to control the ball. The Saints have controlled the ball, but you see how quickly the Dolphins can move once they put it back in Marino's hands. That 40-yard strike to Duper, and again, Mark Clayton not playing tonight.
Clayton was left home. He has a neck problem. Martin and Duper split wide to the right. Coming out of the lineup now is Tony Page. We'll check his replacement. Behind Dan Marino on second down and 8 from the 37-yard line. In motion is Martin from slot right to the left. Back to pass is Marino. In the pocket, he's sacked by guess who? Pat Swilling. Back at the 42-yard line. Ricky Jackson there to help out. And also there, Wayne Martin, but Swilling gets the sack.
Well, give the secondary some credit, too, because the coverage was good. Marino's got the great quick release, but he could not find anyone open. He doesn't move real good, tried to step up a little bit, move around. It was a good tight rush, though, and Pat Swilling was right there for the sack.
That's the 5th sack of preseason for Swilling, but it was really set up by Ricky Jackson because he made Marino bring the ball back down, and Swilling wrapped him up from the blind side.
Of course, Ricky Jackson and Dan Marino, teammates at the University of Pittsburgh.
Dolphins are 0 for 1 on third down conversions. It was a 4-yard loss. Third down and 12 from the 41-yard line. 4 wide receivers.
The Saints have 7 defensive backs in the game.
Marino rolls to his right after the snap out of the shotgun, being chased by Martin. Bluffs the throw, then throws long down the field. Incomplete. He had a man downfield. Reggie Jones was there, probably had a better shot at it, but the pass falls incomplete to one of the wideouts.
Well, there's a situation where I don't think Dan Marino's real comfortable when he has to run out of the pocket. Not a lot of speed, so he had a lot of trouble with his knees. But he made a very good move. It looked like he was going to be forced out of bounds, and he just stopped and took a step back. Now, kind of a desperation throw, but actually his wide receiver got his hands on it. That was Scott Miller.
Miller did get his hands on it, and if Jones had not made the hit, Miller may have come down with it.
Well, Miller also got a headache thanks to the knee of Reggie Jones.
Third down situation fails, and Roby will punt the line of scrimmage, the 41-yard line. Patrick Newman calls for fair catch and receives it at the 16-yard line. We'll pause for these messages with timeout. 7:42 remaining first half. Saints leading 14-0. Now this for Popeyes and Sears Brand Central. The footballs are flying, and New Orleans is out to win the West again. And as an official member of the Saints training table, your local Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits is proud to offer the best fans in the league, the Saints Touchdown Special. Enough of our famous New Orleans-style chicken and sides to feed 4 hungry fans and then some. This month's Saints Touchdown Special includes a box of hot, fresh Popeyes chicken, your choice of any 16-ounce side item, and 4 buttermilk biscuits for only $9.99. So come on in to your neighborhood Popeyes for a Saints Touchdown Special at the super party price of just $9.99. Home cooking for the home team. That's what Popeyes Saints Touchdown Special is all about. Pick one up today.
Dropping back to the end zone straight, dancing around, throwing to the sideline, and is picked off by Troy Cook at the 30. He's to the 28. He's down to the 20-yard line, diving forward to the 19. The Saints have it anyway.
Right now at Sears Brand Central, you can get a top-mount refrigerator from Kenmore with adjustable glass shelves and gallon-sized door space for just $620. Or pay just $570 with $50 in Sears bucks from this week's paper. Or use your Sears bonus bucks to save from $200 to $100 off any other regular-priced appliances or electronics. Only at Sears Brand Central. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. See store and newspaper for details.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
7:42 first half. Saints up 14-0. Proud sponsors of Saints Radio, your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. Remember, there's only one Jeep. Dave Garrett, Archie Manning, Jim Henderson. Saints up by 2 TDs.
And what a great atmosphere this is for preseason. These guys are really whooping it up. They're pennants and bunting all over here. A sold-out crowd. When you don't have a football game in your neck of the woods for 9 years, it brings out the best in your crowd, and they've got a great one here tonight.
Well, our fans on the radio, of course, can't hear, but on commercial, when we're in commercial, they're playing great moments in Colt football. They just had some highlights back when Tom Maddy filled in for Gary Quazzo and John Unitas and played quarterback in 1965.
Dalton Hilliard is the running back now with Craig Hayward the fullback, Bobby Hebert the quarterback. Dowdell in motion from right to left, and Nate Bolton is split wide to the right side. Handoff goes to Dunbar, gets a hold of the 20, up to about the 24-yard line. Then he is faced tackled to the turf on a good stick by Chris Green.
Well, Vaughn Dunbar doesn't need an awful lot of room. Just went right through 2 would-be tacklers and ran hard into the secondary. Saints are using quite a bit of a formation tonight where the tailback is in an I position deep in the backfield as if a fullback was there, but the fullback is offset over to the weak tackle side. They're running the ball a great deal out of that and run some play action from that formation.
It's an 8-yard gain for Vaughn Dunbar. Dunbar, thus far in preseason, has rushed 23 times for 109 yards, an average of 4.7 per carry. That's up into tonight's game. It's 2nd and 2 from the 24. 7:19 remaining second quarter. Saints lead on a 22-yard pass to Patrick Newman for a touchdown and a Dalton Hilliard 2-yard touchdown run. 14-0. Dowdell and Small wide out to the right. Small is in the slot, or that's Dowdell in the slot in motion now from right to left. Hayward and Dunbar behind Hebert. Dunbar gets the handoff, tries to cut upfield, and then is smashed to the turf again, maybe for a loss of 1.
Yeah, it's the first block tonight, too, that Hayward has missed. He didn't quite get his man, and that allowed the penetration with Marco Coleman and others spilling through there to make the tackle on Dunbar.
Well, the second time tonight the Saints have tried the misdirection play, the offside guard and tackle pull and lead to the strong side. It's been a very good play for the Saints over the past 2 years. It's been a good play for a lot of teams. The Saints are 0 for 2 tonight, though.
Massive substitutions for both teams. Saints sending in Patrick Newman along with Dowdell. Also Torrance Small wide to the left. Greg Scales is the tight end on the right side this time, and Dalton Hilliard is the only running back behind Bobby Hebert. Looking at a 4-man defensive front. 3rd down and 2 from the 24-yard line. This is the Saints' third possession of the night. Hebert back to pass. Looks, throwing long for Dowdell. Overthrows him by 2 yards at the 45-yard line. Depending on the play, Michael Magruder, a third-year man out of Kent State for the Dolphins. That pass, if it had been on target, may have been a bunch.
Well, I like the call. The Saints come up. They got 3 wide receivers, the tight ends in the game. But you notice Bobby Hebert came under center. A lot of times Saints will go shotgun on 3rd and 2, but he's under center, back's behind him, which could indicate a running play on 3rd and 2. Straight drop back, trying the bomb. Bobby just overthrows it.
Hard to fault Bobby Hebert for much in his Saints career, but that's one thing he's really not done very well is throw the long ball, and he's got a huge arm.
Well, and it came into the league, from the USFL with credentials to be able to throw a lot of bombs. Of course, he was throwing them to Anthony Carter in that league.
Into the wind, Barnhart punts to Miller, and Miller fields the punt at the 37-yard line. So from the 24 in the Saints territory to the 37-yard line in Dolphin territory. And we have timeout on the field with 6:01 remaining after that 39-yard punt. 14-0 is the score. The Saints lead. You're listening to Saints football.
Hi, CJ Superstar Morgan here, along with one of my many adoring fans.
You're unbelievable! Everyone's listening to you!
And what a responsibility. CJ and Company, mornings and continuous music, Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
What can you buy for $9.95 these days?
We deliver.
Quite a lot, with express mail overnight delivery service from your post office. For less than $10, you put the full power of the United States Postal Service to work for you. Over 700,000 men and women ready to do whatever it takes to assure next morning delivery. Express mail service, just $9.95 for up to 8 ounces. Sponsored by your Postal Service.
Hi, CJ Superstar Morgan here.
And I'm Monica Pierre.
Join us mornings for QLN's most listened to radio show, CJ and Company.
Doug Joubert has all the sports. Jamie Dejean will let you know where all the traffic jams are. I'll give you the latest news and weather. We'll give you time. We'll give you temperature. We will give you everything you need to know to start your morning. CJ, what are you going to do?
I have no idea.
CJ Superstar Morgan and Company. Mornings on Q93.
Sweetheart, how do you build a hearty meal in 5 words or less?
What are you talking about?
Oldies All Request Lunch Hour.
Your love is king. Crown you in my heart.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can fill up off that.
I thought you could. It happens Monday through Friday at 12 noon. The Oldies All Request Lunch Hour and continuous music, Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
The Miami Dolphins' third possession, 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. They've started at their own 20, the other 2 possessions. Miller in motion, Marino back to pass on 1st and 10. He throws it, it's out of bounds and incomplete. Intended for Martin with the Saints and Reggie Jones defending on the play, but the pass was underthrown, really thrown out of the way of everyone.
Archie Toy Cook didn't make the trip after signing late last week. Jones has played well in preseason. Is he your starter to begin the season, and can Cook get his job back?
Well, I think Reggie Jones will probably start the season. It just depends how Toy does in practice. I think Toy's just been to 1 practice, and he was late getting there for that. Now, Gene Atkins has entered the game now at the free safety spot, and I think Taylor just moves over to strong safety.
Duper and Martin are the wide receivers. Marino with the handoff straight ahead to Craver over left tackle, and he runs into a stone wall.
Jim, that's something else we can talk about is as far as these holdouts is Brett Maxey. Keith Taylor, of course, is a very versatile player, free safety, strong safety. Does he have a chance to beat out Brett Maxey for the strong safety position?
On that play, the line of scrimmage was corrected to the 38. It was a 1-yard gain for Craver, so it'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 39-yard line. Also, Morton Anderson's done all the kicking so far here tonight. Is that the end for Kerry Blanchard?
Well, I think the Saints are in a good position there. When we get some time, we'll talk about it, because I spoke with Kerry down on the field before the game. He thinks he's got 3 pretty good teams interested in it.
Dolphins are 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. They haven't had the ball but 2 first downs, as obvious by that stat tonight. Back to pass is Dan Marino, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Robert Clark, on 3rd down and 9. Actually, that went into the Saints bench. No one had a chance to get a hand on it.
And Brett Maxey in there coming with the safety blitz.
I think Dan Marino's not real happy with Robert Clark. Felt like he didn't get the pattern that he wanted out of the X-Saint and X-line.
Of course, Sorry, David. Saints fans, of course, will remember Robert Clark, the former Saint who played for him for 2 years before going to Detroit. Problem with the Saints always was he could get open, but he didn't hold on to the ball often enough to suit Jim Mora.
Roby's had night and day punts of 63 and 25 yards. He booms this one, the line of scrimmage to 39. Newman did not call for fair catch. Gets it at the 25. Gets a break. Skips away from one would-be tackler and dangerously tiptoes to the 30-yard line. We have timeout after that punt from Roby, and Patrick Newman in a crowd made the catch and the run back of about 6 yards. 4:51. Saints will have it 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. When we come back, it's 14-0 New Orleans. Now this for Southwest Airlines and Pennzoil, available at all Walmarts.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy one round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for one night. By the way, this offer doesn't include the $3 local airport tax at Tulsa, Las Vegas, and Oakland. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
How does your car sound when you start it? Perhaps a little like this? Stop into Walmart and pick up Gum Out Extra Fuel Injector Cleaner from Pennzoil. Gum Out helps eliminate engine stalls and hard starts while providing maximum performance. Then your car will sound like this. So for increased engine performance that detergent gasoline alone can't deliver, and at the Walmart price which no one else can deliver, add a bottle of Gum Out to your car's gas tank. Your car's engine will be happy. Walmart, always.
When the Saints wanted a little home cooking for the home team, they chose Popeyes, because when it comes to feeding a hungry bunch of Saints, nobody beats the chicken biscuits and sides at Popeyes, a proud member of the Saints official training table. Saints 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line after that 36-yard punt off the toe of Reggie Roby. 4:51 remaining first half. Saints have scored on 2 of their 3 possessions. Hilliard on a 2-yard run, Hebert on a 22-yard pass to Newman. Wide receivers left and right. Scales, the tight end, throw caught by Nate Bolton at the 35. Gets away from the would-be tackler for a moment and then is tossed out of bounds at about the 39-yard line by J.B. Brown.
First time Bobby's been hit tonight. Marco Coleman really buried him as he delivered that football.
Bobby came out with an ace formation, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, just a 3-step drop through the hitch pattern out to the left, and Nate Coleman got about 8 yards. You know, David Griggs was an outside linebacker, also a former Saint. How smart is he holding out when their number 1 draft choice was Marco Coleman and is playing his position?
Not very. And they've got another linebacker holding out as a starter, and Cliff Odom,
former Colt.
Stowers tight end left, Scales tight end right. Bolton and Dowdell the wide receivers, and Craig Hayward gets the handoff. And another automatic first down as he crosses the 40 up to the 42-yard line. A quick 4 yards for the Ironhead. Saints pick up first down number 11 this evening.
And some good blocking straight ahead by Steve Trapillo, who's in there now at right guard. He really moved the pile. Again, they run it right up the gut on the Dolphins, right at their nose tackle. The Dolphins last year played 5 different people at nose tackle, trying to find some solidarity in the middle of their defensive line.
You know, I'll be surprised if the Saints don't continue to make that substitution during the regular season. That is Trapillo in at right guard for Kennard sometimes.
Bolton goes wide to the far side. Football is on the far side hash mark. Wide to the near side, Dowdell. Still double tight end, Stowers left and Scales right with Ironhead behind quarterback Bobby Hebert.
Once again, the ace formation. Bobby should run or throw this ball to the left side.
Back to pass, plenty of time. Throws it to the far side, just a little too tall for Bolton at first down area at the 48-yard line down in Dolphin territory. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints football.
On the coverage, number 37, J.B. Brown. Second down and 10 from the Saints 42.
Saints on first and second down, employing an ace formation with 2 tight ends. And Bobby's calling the play at the line of scrimmage away from the strength of the Dolphin defense.
Hayward in the backfield along with Vaughn Dunbar this time. Nate Bolton wide left. Marcus Dowdell wide to the right. Hebert, handoff, goes to Dunbar, and he's hitting the backfield and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for Vaughn Dunbar, and it is now fourth down coming up. Third down and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Dunbar never had a chance. Just Bobby reverses out, straight handoff. Defensive lineman had penetrated, hit him just as he got the football.
Tabasco brand products, a proud sponsor of Saints football on radio. Tabasco brand pepper sauce, 7-spice chili, and Tabasco brand Bloody Mary mix. Like the Saints, they're a Louisiana legend.
2:45 remaining first half, 14-0 Saints. 3 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. No tight ends. Hilliard is the blocking back for Bobby Hebert out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Saints are 4 of 6 on third downs tonight. Back to pass, has protection, throws but over the head of Nate Bolton, incomplete at the 45-yard line of Miami territory. And the Dolphin defense for the second time in a row holds.
And Marco Coleman coming in again. It kind of does look like Pat Swing a little bit there. Coleman, of course, an outside linebacker, number 1 pick out of Georgia Tech, and is going down at the right defensive end position on passing downs. That was 3rd and long, shotgun formation. He beats Richard Cooper around the corner and hits Bobby Hebert just as he releases the ball.
Scott Miller back deep to receive the line of scrimmage, the Saints' 42-yard line. Miller deep, stands at his own 10-yard line. Punting into the wind is Tommy Barnhart, who stands at his own 27. Snap back in good shape. Barnhart does not get off a great kick. The football never turns over, but hits and takes a Saints bounce inside the 20 to the 15, inside the 10. Ball is still rolling and will be down at about the 7-yard line on a good luck kick by Tommy Barnhart. 47 yards off his toe when it looked like it was going 30.
And a nice job by Pat Newman. I believe he was getting down under the kick. Pat Newman's done a good job on special teams tonight. He looks very comfortable also receiving punts, Jim.
Well, you remember last year, too, Archie, it was a block punt of Tommy Blanchard by Brian Cox, fallen on in the end zone by Paul Langford, that allowed the Dolphins to come back from a 14-0 deficit and beat the Saints in their last preseason game. And deference to Tommy, he had no chance on the play. There was a problem with the protection in front of him.
You remember that?
Yes.
I've forgotten that.
It corrected the punt yardage to 51 yards, where the Dolphins will start first down and 10, and the Saints want a timeout. Attention Saints fans, there's a brand new publication devoted exclusively to giving you the inside story on the Saints. It's called Saints Digest, the official publication of the New Orleans Saints, with game coverage, action photos, player features, statistics, a column by Archie Manning of the Saints Network featured in the next edition. Published 26 times a year, weekly from August. Saints called a timeout here. They want the football back. 2:14 remaining here in the first half, and the Saints leading 14-0.
Well, they call a timeout because they didn't have enough people on the field.
Oh, is that it?
10. They didn't want to go with 10. I think Ronaldo Turnbull failed to check in. Now he's back out, and I guess Ricky Jackson goes into the game.
First and 10 at the 7-yard line. Miami backed up with the I back in the I formation, standing in the end zone for Dan Marino, overlooking a 5-man defensive front. Marino hands off to Kraber, who sweeps right and gains across the 10, maybe to the 11-yard line, and a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
Dolphins also have a lot of people beat up. Mark Higgs, very productive running back for the Dolphins last year, 905 yards on the season, was left home with an injury, and their final left tackle, Richmond Webb, is injured.
And we've reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes exactly remaining here in period number 2. It's 14-0 Saints, and you're listening to Saints football.
With approved credit, standard factor, equipment, textile license, non-included caravan, 72-month financing, 1.9% APR ranking according to Chrysler Corp.
Car buyers, Ray Branch, Louisiana's #1 Dodge dealer, wants to put a Dodge in your garage. Get the 92 Caravan for $11,990 or $2,500 down, $199 a month. Conversion vans are just $14,995 at Ray Branch Dodge, 1660 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. There's only room in this town for one Dodge dealer. That's Ray Branch Dodge. The rest, get out of Dodge.
With the help of the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital, you can maximize your potential in sports. If sports injuries occur, you'll have comfort in knowing the Sports Medicine Center is there. State-of-the-art medical technology, physical rehabilitation, and fitness equipment, plus the multi-specialty staff at the Sports Medicine Center can enhance your body's performance. Sports Medicine Center can prevent, diagnose, treat, and rehabilitate injuries far more effectively than ordinary hospitals or health spas. See for yourself. Call 885-3488 for more information. The law office of Carnell Thomas provides competent and trustworthy legal advice in a warm and comfortable environment. This team of legal professionals has served their New Orleans community for the past 10 years. Now, if you have legal problems, their professionals stand poised to help you. Cardell Thomas and his associates has assisted thousands of people just like you in cases from maritime, personal injury, criminal, divorces, and succession. Stop by their office at 3723 Canal Street or call 482-2841. 482-2841. The law firm of Cardell Thomas gets results.
The election is coming up. Who are you going to vote for? Well, vote for continuous music, more winners, the Saints, and more money.
When you cast your ballot, vote Continuous Music Q93 for more winners and always more than 93 in a row.
WQUE-FM New Orleans.
Proud sponsor of the Saints Radio Network, BC Headache Powder. No matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster than BC Headache Powder. Second down and 6 yards to go for the Dolphins at the 11-yard line with 4 wide receivers. Marino throws in the flat. Was it a catch or a trap? I don't know if they'll know, but it will be credited as a reception by Scott Miller up at the 19-yard line. First and 10, Dolphins.
Miller, a second-year player out of UCLA. Dolphins, a no-huddle offense. Marino in the shotgun.
Up to the 19, an 8-yard gain. Only the third first down tonight for Miami. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 blocking back, Craver for Marino, but he comes out of the backfield, and Marino just spikes the ball at the feet of Aaron Craver. It'll be second and 10.
Well, Marino was looking left to throw off this read. Did not see Anthony Florence, the cornerback, on his right side coming. Got there just about the time he released the ball to the left and went to the ground. Saints employing 6 defensive backs. Sam Mills in the game at linebacker. Ronaldo Turnbull was rushing at the left defensive end spot. Now Ricky Jackson checks in for him. Ronaldo goes over to the right side, and Pat Swilling comes out.
Anthony Florence and Jimmy Spencer had also checked in a bit earlier. 2 wideouts to the right side this time. One is Tony Martin, the other is Scott Miller.
Gene Atkins is getting some playing time. We have not seen Brett Maxey yet. Of course, they left Toy Cook at home.
Mark Duper and Robert Clark are the wideouts to the near side out of the shotgun. Marino back to pass on second down and 10. Throws down the middle. It is caught and then dropped. The Saints are going to pick the football up. Sam Mills, it was intended for Robert Clark, dropped at the 45-yard line after I thought he had received it.
Well, Jim said a while ago the problem with Robert Clark in New Orleans, he didn't hold on to the ball. Ronaldo Turnbull did not rush that time, had dropped back into a deep linebacking position. I thought he might have got a hand on the ball, although it did hit Clark right between the 8 and the 1.
A minute 26 remaining in the first half. The last NFL game played here at Memorial Stadium was December 18th, 1983. The Colts beat Houston 20-10. Last time Miami played here was in that same season. Last time Jim Mora was in this arena was the first game of 1982 as a Patriots assistant against the Colts. And they're here tonight in 92. Marino back to pass on 3rd and 10, has all day. Throws to Duper, complete first down at the 38-yard line, now to the 39-yard line. Defending on the play, Brett Maxey, who makes the tackle.
Boy, that's vintage Marino.
Number 39.
Right. Give him some time, let him bounce around in there, and then just drills the ball in there to Mark Duper coming across the middle. There, Brett Maxey was in the game on that play, his first action of the evening.
That was a 20-yard pass to Duper, and that's only the first third down conversion of the Dolphins tonight. With a minute 19 remaining first half, 14-0 Saints.
Well, you can't give Marino that much time. Now, the Saints were coming with a 3-man rush, which meant they had 8 in coverage. Double teaming on Ronaldo Turnbull. Boy, they kind of threw him around a little bit there.
Timeout has been called by the Dolphins. Of course, this is a homecoming and celebration for Don Shula, who played as a Colt here from 1953 through 56. Then coached as a Colt from 1963 through 1969.
Got some big halftime ceremonies coming up here in Memorial Stadium. John Mackey will receive his Hall of Fame ring.
We heard from John Mackey in our pregame tailgate party today with Steve Stonebreaker, who played under Don Shula here as a Colt. 2 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left. First down and 10 from the 39-yard line. In Dolphin territory, Marino out of the shotgun, looking at the Saints defense. Here comes the rush. Here's the snap. Marino somehow gets loose, dumps it off to Craver at the 40-yard line, and he's corralled by 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 Saints over there at the 40-yard line who makes the tackle. You want to name all of them?
No. Just, I take your word, it was a lot of them.
Sam Mills led the charge, and it's a gain of 2. Second down and a long 8 at the 41-yard line. No huddle. 2 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left, out of the shotgun. Marino back to pass, throws over the middle, and going the wrong way was Robert Clark. It was thrown behind him. Incomplete. Second down goes to third down and 8 now from the 41.
Yeah, Clark was looking for a pass interference call against Anthony Florence, and so was Don Shula as they were tangled up right around midfield.
46 seconds remaining, first half. Saints score on their first two possessions on a 13-play drive and on a 12-play drive. Hebert hit Newman on a 22-yard pass. Dalton Hilliard capped off an 80-yard drive with a 2-yard run. Saints have been unsuccessful on their last two drives. The Dolphins have only 4 first downs tonight. It's 3rd down and 8 from the 41-yard line.
All right, the Saints are just rushing 3 here. Wayne Martin in the middle and Swilling and Jackson on the outside unless they come with a blitz.
Marino back to pass, throws in the flat. It is caught by Martin inside the 50. First down inside the 46, maybe to the 45-yard line. And the Dolphins continue the drive now with 35 seconds remaining. Timeout has been called.
Boy, he threaded that one. You think with 8 people covering, couldn't complete a pass like that. He stood right between Vince Buck and another defensive back.
And if you're wondering what all the cheering's about in a 14-0 game late in the first half, it's really not for what the Dolphins and Saints are doing. It's for the former Colts who are coming out at the end of the field who will be honored at halftime. They're getting a standing ovation from this place.
Well, they've got their Colts jerseys on. I went to a little reception before the game down there. Names like Lou Michaels, Ordell Gracie, Rick Vogt,
Mike Curtis down there.
Mike Curtis, Tony Warwick, Lenny Lyles,
Randy Logan, all sorts of them.
That was a 14-yard pass play to Martin, by the way, and it's the 5th first down, but 3 of the 5 first downs for the Dolphins have come in this drive.
And now the former Colts, a lot of them are turning around and are giving a standing ovation to the crowd. It's a nice moment here.
Yeah, our good friend Bert Jones is up from Ruston.
Saints players getting ready, and several of them are applauding as well, maybe thinking the crowd was firing them up. 1st and 10 from the 45 in Saints territory. Dan Marino has 4 wide receivers and 1 blocking back, Aaron Craver, and he gives a Utah shovel pass to Craver, who gains almost back to the line of scrimmage. Sam Mills is there to protect.
They didn't fool Sam Mills. A great call at this point in the game, and a good play, but Sam Mills read it, was right there to wrap him up on the old shovel pass.
Did he call it a Utah pass in the pros?
You did.
1 yard loss. Marino back to pass, throws in the flat, almost intercepted. Vince Buck was defending on the play, and with the headlong dive, he knocked the ball out of the reach of Scott Miller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, there's a case where Marino got some pressure, was not able to get all the RPMs behind the ball, kind of had to throw it off balance and float it out there, and Vince Buck was able to get his hands on it.
3rd down, 11 yards to go. The Dolphins are 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. 9 seconds remaining here in the first half.
A chant going on. We want a team. We want a team. That's what they used to say in New Orleans when I was playing.
Well, you got your wish.
You couldn't understand it very well. Those bags over their head, you couldn't understand it.
And there were only about 25 people in the stands at the time, not 60,000 like you.
5 wide receivers. Marino throws in the flat, caught by Martin. 45 down to the 40, 35 down to the 31-yard line. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Clock stops at 2 seconds. Miami gets it stopped at the 31-yard line after the gain of 15 yards on the pass play to Tony Martin.
Yeah, that was a nice little play right there. It looks as though they threw a hitch pattern out to the left side and went to one receiver and let the other 3 receivers kind of form a wall, kind of like a screen, and get in behind him. Got the Dolphins in shape to attempt a field goal.
And the guy who will attempt it is the best long-range kicker in the NFL, in the opinion of many, Pete Stoyanovich, who's had a 59-yarder in his career and 7 in excess of 50 yards. This will be about a 48-yard attempt.
31 of 37 last year for the Dolphins. I'm thinking about drafting him on my fantasy team this year.
In preseason, he's 2 of 3 on field goals from 40 to 49, and he's 1 of 3 in 50-plus. This will be marked at the 38. It's a 40 or 37. It's a 47-yard attempt for Stoyanovich. Jim Jensen, who is a receiver but doesn't play much there here in preseason, will hold the ball down. The kick in the air. This one will have to stretch. It is good. In fact, it was so close to not being good that the ball hit the pad of the goalpost standard. It just got over. Miami has scored to end the first half on a 47-yard field goal by Pete Stoyanovich. It's 14-3. Saints lead after 2 periods. The Southwest Airlines halftime report is next on the Saints Network.
Power, BC Power.
When pain puts you in a world of hurt, you need the power of BC.
Power, BC Power.
I coach Little League after work, so I'm tired when I get there.
BC Power in the powder, the power of BC.
Then I'll hit well over 100 balls. Plus, there's lots of bending and twisting and throwing.
BC Power in the powder, the power of BC.
Later, my back feels like a wrung-out dish rag. And that's where the BC comes in.
You need something to see you through, something strong so you feel like new.
You know, I might have stopped coaching a long time ago if it wasn't for BC.
BC Power in the powder, the power of BC.
No matter where you're hurting, BC stops pain fast.
The power of BC.
Use as directed.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now, you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save on Jeep Cherokee, Eagle Talon, Eagle Summit Wagon, and the legendary Jeep Wrangler. Hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation. Jeep and Eagle, official sponsors of the 92 U.S. Olympic team. See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Tom Dempsey for Tabasco brand pepper sauce.
Dempsey kicks, it's on the way. It is.
Most people remember me for that 63-yard field goal, but the things I remember most when I was kicking in other NFL cities was New Orleans' terrific food and that Louisiana legend Tabasco sauce. In fact, I came back to New Orleans to live and never stopped using those great Tabasco brand products. If you want to get that extra kick out of your favorite foods, do what the Dempseys do. Make Tabasco sauce a part of your lineup.
Saints football proudly sponsored on radio by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. And by Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits, official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. And by Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Welcome back. The New Orleans Saints currently lead the Miami Dolphins. We're at the Southwest Airlines halftime report here on the Saints Network. Dave Garrett along with Jim Henderson and Archie Manning. Jim's special guest coming up in just a moment. If you're just plain smart about New Orleans Saints history, you could be a big winner in the 92 Southwest Airlines Saints Halo Hall of Fame contest. The more you know about memorable Saints of the past, the better your chances of being one of 8 big winners during the 92 season. We'll have one winner picked from the past 2 weeks of clues. We'll have one more clue coming up in the second half. Winners will enjoy an exciting gift package including all of these prizes. A pair of free round-trip tickets from any Southwest Airlines city to New Orleans or any of the other 33 Southwest Airlines destinations of your choice. A pair of free tickets to an upcoming Saints home game in the Superdome. A pair of free tickets to the Saints Hall of Fame and Museum in Kenner. Dinner for 2 at Stonebreakers Restaurant in Metairie. Plus a special Southwest Airlines Saints Smart Pack filled with fun gifts from Southwest Airlines. To win, just listen for the in-game clues in the Saints broadcast. And if you can name the Saints Halo Hall of Famer, mail your entry or postcard to Southwest Airlines, 111 Veterans Boulevard, Suite 704, Metairie, Louisiana, 70005. By the entry deadline. If you're the first correct entry drawn on the announced date, you're a winner, because when it comes to knowing about your favorite team, the Saints, you're just plain smart. No purchase necessary to win. Just send in the correct entry by the announced deadline date. If you're the first correct entry drawn by Southwest Airlines, you'll be one of 8 big winners. The Saints Halo Hall of Fame contest, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the New Orleans Saints Radio Network. Halftime, 14-3, Saints lead. Saints scored on their first 2 possessions on 2 very long, time-consuming drives. Bobby Hebert capped a 13-play, 78-yard drive with a 22-yard pass to Patrick Newman. Morton Anderson's extra point kick made it 7-0 with 6:59 remaining in the first quarter. On the next possession, after Miami picked up 1 first down and had to punt, the Saints then go 80 yards on 12 plays. Dalton Hilliard capping off the drive with a 2-yard touchdown run. 12 plays, 80 yards. Morton Anderson's extra point kick just a couple of seconds inside 11 minutes in the first half. Saints led 14-0. Dolphins' only score was the last play of the first half. 12 plays, 63 yards. The drive was stalled at the Saints' 30-yard line. Pete Stoyanovich came in and booted a 47-yard field goal as time expired to make it 14-3. More in a moment. You're listening to Saints football.
Listen up, America. Martin Lawrence is coming. What up? He's Detroit's hottest talk radio host.
We're talking male sensitivity.
Next caller. You know where he's coming from.
Yeah, Martin. I share everything with my wife. I even cry in front of her.
But there's no telling how far he'll go.
Do you shave your face or your bikini line? Excuse me?
Man, look at the front of your drawers. You're missing a flap, girlfriend. When he's on the air, he's in control.
This is my show. I ask the questions here. All right? Do your feet stink?
But when he gets home, his lady runs the show.
I am so mad at you, I could kill you.
Okay, I am so sorry.
You've seen him on Def Comedy Jam. Now he's got his own series on Fox.
We did it, Mama. Straight from the ghetto, Mama. Straight from the ghetto.
Martin, premiering tonight after an all-new Simpsons on Fox.
No high pressure ever!
Interstate Ford, the only dealer in town with no high pressure and no hassle. That's right. You can have a new 92 Taurus 4-door for only $13,395. Is a hot new Escort your style? Interstate Ford's got them. New 92s for only $86.90, and they're loaded. Looking for a new 92 Explorer? Forget about those high prices from other dealers. Interstate Ford has them loaded out for only $17,997. Stop by Interstate Ford on Veterans for a great selection of new and nearly new cars and trucks where you get so much for so Interstate little. Ford, where our high volume means low prices for you. All prices on new 92 models plus tax and license rebates applied. The Saints are the #1 team in New Orleans. First Communication is the first team in communication. Right now, First Communication would like to show you their lineup of superstars in terms of telephone systems and service. You may even get a quarterback. Let First Communication review their playbook with you and defend against breakdown and high cost in your present system. First Communication guarantees to play hard every day and give you a championship telephone or communication system. Don't fumble away this opportunity. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and be part of a winning team.
You're listening to Q93.
It's a nostalgic night here in Baltimore for a lot of people, including the man sitting to my right, Jim Miller, the Vice President of Administration for the Saints. But prior to that, a writer for the Baltimore Evening Sun from 1971 to 81 before he sold out and went with the NFL and later with the Saints. This must be a very nice evening for you.
Jim, it's good to get back to Baltimore. It's a great town. It's a great sports city with a great tradition. And if the push is there, if everything's right, believe me, they're going to get an NFL team in the not-too-distant future.
Now, the talk is there'll be 2 franchises granted for 1994. This is one of 5 cities in the finals, right?
That's what everyone says, Jim. The one thing people are overlooking right now is the fact that we don't have any kind of collective bargaining agreement, and this trial up in Minneapolis, I think, will go a long way toward determining what's done with expansion. The commissioner came out a couple days ago and said the expansion may be on hold if the court case doesn't go, quote, the right way. So we don't really know, but if everything's right, as I said, there will be expansion, there will be 2 teams added, and certainly some of us are partial that Baltimore's one of them.
The other cities in the mix, St. Louis, Charlotte, North Carolina, Memphis, and Jacksonville. This crowd has put on a great show for the network cablecast cameras of ESPN in the first half, haven't they?
They really have, and you know, it's funny because when I was here, I was covering the team toward the end when Burt Jones was hurt and Ted Marchibroda was finishing up his coaching career, and Mike McCormick came in and tried to right things, and Bob Irsay was always talking about moving the team. So believe me, I've rarely seen a crowd this enthusiastic. They've really done a wonderful job.
One of the hugest black eyes in NFL history was the move of Bob Irsay of the Colts out of here under the cover of darkness in those Mayflower van lines to Indianapolis. When we come back, I want to talk with you about that, Jim, and how the NFL might make it up to this city. More in a moment. You're listening to Saints Football.
Tax title license not included, rank according to South Central Region. Car buyers, if you think you've seen rock bottom deals on new Nissans, Ray Brandt Nissan's here to tell you. Till you've seen the great deals at Ray Brandt Nissan's Clearance Center, like the 92 240SX for $10,995 or the 92 Maxima $15,995. From Ray Brandt, the South's #1 Nissan dealer, 1884 West Bank Expressway, Harvey, cutting down the competition.
Paramount Pictures presents Pet Cemetery 2.
You heard about the Creed murders yet?
Even if the first one scared you to death, it doesn't mean you can't come back for one more.
I came back for you, Jeff. We're going to be together again.
Pet Cemetery 2. Some stories just won't stay dead. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent. Starts Friday, August 28th at theaters everywhere.
There's one bank that lives by its motto of absolutely the best personal service in New Orleans. That bank is your friends at United Bank and Trust. At United Bank and Trust, they make it their business to know each of their customers personally because they know to better serve all your banking needs, they have to take a one-on-one approach. Whether it's home mortgages, car loans, home improvement loans, or small business loans, United Bank and Trust at 2714 Canal Street can help. United Bank and Trust, where personal service isn't just a motto, it's the way United does business with you.
So you feel like reminiscing, right? Well, let us take you back. Join us for Continuous Music Q93's Oldies All Request Lunch Hour. Hi, this is LBJ, and we want you to join us Monday through Friday, 12 noon, right here on Continuous Music Q93. All your favorites from yesterday and yesteryear. Be there.
You're listening to Q93.
Jim Miller, other things being equal, do you think the NFL feels a sense of obligation to put a franchise back in this city?
I don't know if obligation's the word, Jim. I think it gets down to economics, and from what I understand, Baltimore's put on a presentation that would rival or better any of the other candidates. So I think if you look at strict economics, which the owners tend to do these days, I think Baltimore's right in there. And if people could only see this halftime show, the tradition, Chuck Thompson over the mic, introducing the old Hall of Fame Colts and all the other Colts, they'd feel the same thing.
Jim Miller, the Vice President of Administration for the Saints and a former writer for the Baltimore Evening Sun, has been our halftime guest. And as a token of our appreciation, I want to present you with this beautiful collection of Oscar de la Renta ties. They come courtesy of the Wemco Corporation in New Orleans, having looked at your wardrobe at close range now for about 7 years. I would say you're in dire need of these, and wear them in good health, my friend.
Jim, you know where it hurts. You know where it hurts. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being the guest. Jim Miller, Vice President of Administration for the Saints. That's today's Southwest Airlines halftime report, and this is the Saints Network.
Dropping to throw now, looking for the screen, looks like he's going to cross it over, he's going to be picked off at the 38, to the 30, down to the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown Saints!
The footballs are flying, and New Orleans is out to win the West again. And as an official member of the Saints training table, your local Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits is proud to offer the best fans in the league, the Saints Touchdown Special. Enough of our famous New Orleans-style chicken and sides to feed 4 hungry fans and then some. This month's Saints Touchdown Special includes a box of hot, fresh Popeyes chicken, your choice of any 16-ounce side item, and 4 buttermilk biscuits for only $9.99. So come on in to your neighborhood Popeyes for a Saints Touchdown Special at the super party price of just $9.99. Home cooking for the home team. That's what Popeyes Saints Touchdown Special is all about. Pick one up today.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Right now at Sears Brand Central, you can get a top-mount refrigerator from Kenmore with adjustable glass shelves and gallon-sized door space for just $620. Or pay just $570 with $50 in Sears bucks from this week's paper. Or use your Sears bonus bucks to save from $200 to $100 off any other regular-priced appliances or electronics. Only at Sears Brand Central. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. See store and newspaper for details.
You can count on me, Sears Roebuck & Company.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson as the Saints have opened up a 14-3 lead after 2 periods of play. The Saints did it all in their first 2 possessions, but they were long possessions. A 13-play, 78-yard Bobby Hebert drive completed with a 22-yard pass to Patrick Newman. Anderson's kick made it 7-0. Dalton Hilliard capped a 12-play, 80-yard drive with a 2-yard touchdown run. Anderson's kick made it 14-0, and then Stojanovic hit a 47-yard field goal as time expired in the first half to make it 14-3. And, men, I believe you have some numbers.
Well, Bobby Hebert, a good first half, 10 for 14 for 100 yards, had one touchdown. As Jim mentioned earlier, the Saints' first touchdown pass of the preseason. Rushing in the first half, McAfee 4 for 18 yards. Hayward 6 carries for 17. Hilliard carried 5 times for 13 yards, so pretty good production out of the backfield. Hebert 1 carry for 21 yards. Dunbar 3 carries for 8. I think we'll see more of him in the second half. Marino was 7 for 15, 99 yards. Got him going a little bit in his final drive to get him in field goal range. Not much on the rushing side, though. Humphrey 4 carries, 17 yards. Craver 4 carries, 8 yards.
New Orleans will start the second half on defense. They won the toss and elected to receive to begin this ball game. They'll kick off from north to south, from our left to right, so the Dolphins will move from south to north. We're on the west side looking east. They'll be going from our right to our left.
Jim, I know you were interviewing Jim Miller at halftime, but Dave, that was a spectacular halftime show. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Not only, of course, the presentation of John Mackey, who demanded that his ring be presented to him in Baltimore, not in Indianapolis, but to recognize all these Colts that are here. And 11 former Baltimore Colts in the Hall of Fame. What some great players out there, including Johnny Unitas, Jim Parker, right on Ted Hendricks, Gino Marchetti, right on down the line.
And our own Steve Stonebreaker, who was on in the pregame, got to be down on the field also with all that presentation. Well, vintage Morton Anderson with the 1-inch tee from the 35-yard line just boomed a kick out of the end of the end zone. It was fielded by Bernie Parmalee, but not returned as it went the total distance required, and the Dolphins will start after the touchback, 1st and 10 from the 20.
Well, I really think Morton feels good. He can just tell kind of by the way he's carrying himself down there. I watched him kick before the game, and it looks like maybe some of this pain has gone away. He hadn't kicked last week. I think he possibly got a cortisone injection. It looks like that knee's doing a lot better.
Doug Pedersen, the Northeast Louisiana free agent, is now into quarterback. He's only 6 of 12, but for 95 yards in preseason. Hands off to Bobby Humphrey, who has running room, 25, 30, 31, 32-yard line, maybe the 33. A 13-yard game for Bobby Humphrey to start with an off left tackle run off the line of scrimmage.
There was some shabby tackling on the part of the Saints there on the first running play. The starters still in for the Saints. Got a couple of substitutions there. I see DeMond Winston in at linebacker. James Williams did make the trip, out of strain in his hamstring last week in the game against the Oilers.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line after the 13-yard run by Bobby Humphrey. That's his longest run of the year. His previous long was 9. Wide receivers left and right with a man in the slot to the left side for quarterback Peterson, who hands off to Humphrey again. Running room, 35, 40. Tries to get outside and does. 45 and out of bounds at the 47 or 48-yard line. Humphrey again with a first down run. 14:04 left to go, third quarter, and 2 big runs by Bobby Humphrey. One off left tackle, one off right tackle.
They found a nice crease over there, David, off the right tackle spot. Broke through, missed tackle by Vince Buck. The secondary for the Saints consists of Reggie Jones at the left corner, Vince Buck over at the right corner, and Gene Atkins and Brett Maxey are the starters to begin the second half.
Well, their longest carry prior to this in the first half was 7 yards. Is this an adjustment you make at halftime?
If it is,
they made the right one.
Yeah.
From the 48-yard line, 1st down and 10. Out of the I formation now, the regular offense for Peterson. Fake handoff this time. He's back to pass, looks down the field, throws, almost picked off by the Saints. Dropping back in the flat along with the receiver was DeMond Winston, who almost picked it off. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
There's a guy who's had a pretty good preseason and getting a chance to play tonight in the absence of James Williams.
Back to Peterson for just a moment. Scott Mitchell, who was quarterback in the World League, who had gotten the second most playing time coming into this game behind Dan Marino, does not go second tonight. Peterson has 2 touchdown passes and is going 6 for 12 coming into this game.
Scott Mitchell's the biggest quarterback I've ever seen. 6'6", 236. I guess there's one in Seattle bigger, Dan McGuire. He's 6'8".
Peterson looks at a 3-man defensive front. Fake handoff, maybe a busted play. Peterson's back, he throws, it's complete, and then a trip-up tackle made after the man catches the ball out of the backfield, and we'll catch his number in just a moment. It's James Saxon, who has more yardage receiving the football at fullback than he does running the football.
That's a quarterback's nightmare right there. Nobody blocked Pat Swelling.
It was a misdirection play, the play action off a misdirection play. Didn't look like a real smooth play, but he got away with it, completed the pass, and now faces about a 3rd and 4.
They're going to officially call it 3 with the 45-yard line. Dolphins in the first half on 3rd down conversions were 3 of 6 Out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Dolphins in their initial possession here in the second half. Low snap back to Peterson. He looks and throws immediately, and it's overthrown and right through the hands of Robert Clark, maybe a little too tall for him. Incomplete with 1, 2, 3, 4 on the scoreboard. 12:34 remaining in the third period. Saints lead 14-3, and the Dolphins have to punt it away, and Reggie Roby comes into the game.
Dolphins have another quarterback, Scott Seacools, who's really their third quarterback. He's a fifth-year player out of Virginia, traded from the Cowboys back in '89. He also has an injury, so Peterson's getting a chance to play.
Dolphins are now 3 of 7 on third down conversions. Roby did not have a great first half of punting. He booms this one high into the air, but it's not deep. Patrick Newman calls for a fair catch, catches the ball, and falls at the 14-yard line. We have timeout on the field after the 30-yard field goal with 12:26 remaining in the third period. Saints leading 14-3, and you're listening to Saints football.
No high pressure ever!
Interstate Ford, the only dealer in town with no high pressure and no hassle. That's right. You can have a new 92 Taurus 4-door for only $13,395. Is a hot new Escort your style? Interstate Ford's got a new 92s for only $86.90, and they're loaded. Looking for a new 92 Explorer? Forget about those high prices from other dealers. Interstate Ford has them loaded out for only $17,997. Stop by Interstate Ford on Veterans for a great selection of new and nearly new cars and trucks where you get so much for so little. Interstate Ford, where our high volume means low prices for you. All prices on new 92 models plus tax and license rebates apply. The Saints are the #1 team in New Orleans. First Communication is the first team in communication. Right now, First Communication would like to show you their lineup of superstars in terms of telephone systems and service. You may even get a quarterback. Let First Communication review their playbook with you and defend against breakdown and high cost in your present system. First Communication guarantees to play hard every day and give you a championship telephone or communication system. Don't fumble away this opportunity. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and be part of a winning team.
Tomorrow morning at 7:15, have your dial locked in to 93.3. CJ Superstar Morgan's gonna let you know how you can pick up on tickets to the hottest concert coming to the Crescent City.
Come and talk to me, I really want to meet you, girl.
Listen tomorrow morning at 7:15 to CJ and Company. Tomorrow morning at 7:15, listen to CJ and Company to find out how you can check out the hottest tour in the Crescent City. But it's only on Continuous Music Q93.
You're listening to Q93.
Saints have it first down and 10 at their own 14-yard line, and breaking the huddle and coming to the line of scrimmage is quarterback Steve Walsh. Behind him is Buford Jordan, and Vaughn Dunbar is the I-back with 2 wide receivers to the right side. Patrick Newman in motion from right to left. Marcus Dowdell is the other wide receiver. Tommy Stowers, the tight end on the left side. Walsh back to pass, throws, and it is caught by Jordan on a great catch at the 14-yard line and then out of bounds. He was fighting off. Great defense thrown in there by the Dolphins, E.J. Jr.
E.J. Jr. probably battling for his professional life here, the former #1 draft choice of the Cardinals. Saints have an entirely reconstituted offensive line in there now with Chris Ford at right tackle, Steve Trapillo at right guard, Derek Kennard is the center. Your left guard is Mike Giesler, and I'll have to check with the
Jim
left tackle.
Dabrowski's at the left tackle. Boy, that was a real chance Steve Walsh took right there. Really, everybody was covered, just threw it up for grabs and got away with a completion.
He thanks Buford Jordan in the huddle after that 3-yard completion. Instead of interception, completion more important. 2nd and 7. Dumps it off to Jordan again. He shoots a play at the 20. Gets free at the 25. And dives up to the 29-yard line for the first down. Buford Jordan, who probably has a little more spring in his step after Cedric Smith was cut to make room for one of the defensive backs. A 12-yard pass play up to about the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 Saints.
Play action off the misdirection. Walsh spots Buford Jordan in the right flat. Buford probably could have made more yardage if Torrance Small had gotten out of his way.
13-yard pass play to Jordan. It's 1st down and 10 at the 30-yard line. That is the Saints' 12th first down of the ball game. First down of the second half. Cedric Smith was let go to make room on the roster for the two defensive backs. That was a cut that took place yesterday.
Boy, that's a scoop. I didn't know that.
Walsh back to pass, and there's a flag on the play, and he sacked back at the 25-yard line after he looked confused, tried to duck out of the pocket and run, and then was down, but holding is going to be called on the Saints.
You know, I wonder if that's not a situation, though, where they figure they let him go at this time when it's not a cut down time and hoping, you know, they could bring him back at a later time. It really shocks me that Cedric Smith was cut.
Otis Moore was the other player cut from the defense to make room.
No surprise there.
So we have a penalty against the Saints of holding, and it's declined. A holding penalty was called on Steve Trapillo, who held instead of trapped. Back to the 25-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 30, so it's -5, and it's 2nd and 15. Two wide receivers to the left, Patrick Newman and Torrance Small. Marcus Dowdell to the right. One running back behind Steve Walsh. Derek Kennard at center. The running back is Vaughn Dunbar. He gets the handoff over left tackle. Squirts free for 5 or 6 yards and almost broke maybe 10 more across the 30 to the 33 before he was down, but some nice running in a crowd by Dunbar.
That could have been a 70-yard run right there. Just scooted right through, and I think some people stopped. Almost kept his feet and could have been long gone.
Gain of 9 for Vaughn Dunbar. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
You got to forgive. I'm a little slow getting this second half. I'm looking through Jim's mirror here. I don't think this window in the press box has been cleaned since the last game here in 1983.
You're right. And I'd like to thank our producer, Robert Carroll, for putting you two behind it instead of this position. Two wide receivers to the left and one to the right. Steve Walsh yelling some instructions to Torrance Small on the near side. Snap back in good shape out of the shotgun, a throw over the middle, in and out of the hands of Torrance Small, and then it bounced in and out of the hands of one of the defenders, Bruce Alexander. A plan B pickup from Stephen F. Austin for the Dolphins.
David, I think that was Marcus Dowdell whose hands it went off, and that doesn't help him. He needs to make an impact here tonight if he has any chance of making this team. You see Patrick Newman getting all the work at punt returner. Dowdell had that job earlier. You've seen the touchdown by Patrick Newman tonight, and Dowdell hasn't really done much to help himself in the last couple of games.
Yeah, I think his best chance is to be one of the 5 receivers if he's also the punt return guy. As you mentioned, Pat Newman looks like he's doing a pretty good job tonight. He made some good decisions back there in his fair catching or when to let the ball go.
9:44, third quarter. Saints lead 14-3. Barnhart to punt. Snap back in good shape, and he booms the kick. Scott Miller deep to receive, calls for the fair catch. The ball hits at the 5 and goes into the end zone. That is a 66-yard punt off the toe of Tommy Barnhart. Time off the field, time out on the field. 9:34 left to go third quarter, 14-3 Saints. Now this message for Southwest Airlines and your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy one round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for one night. By the way, this offer doesn't include the $3 local airport tax at Tulsa, Las Vegas, and Oakland. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save on Jeep Cherokee, Eagle Talon, Eagle Summit Wagon, and the legendary Jeep Wrangler. Hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation. Jeep and Eagle, official sponsors of the 92 U.S. Olympic team.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Proud sponsor of the New Orleans Saints radio network is Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust.
Dave Garrett along with Archie Manning and Jim Henderson. And the Dolphins will take over first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. If you've been putting off your car's oil change, do it now. Today's 4- and 6-cylinder cars, really tough on motor oils. Drive into Vickery Chevrolet, Greenville, Mississippi, and get a complete Castrol GTX oil change. And while you're there, register to win free Saints tickets. The job will be done fast and done right using Castrol.
I know those people.
Been through there a few times?
Oh, Victory Chevrolet, Greenville.
It guards
many times.
They guard against that viscosity over there, don't they?
Got that right.
It is still Peterson, the quarterback, with Martin in motion from left to right, and the handoff goes to Bobby Humphrey, who bounces outside for a moment and gained 3 yards up to the 23-yard line. This is the second possession for the Dolphins. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 23.
A lot of substitutions in for the Saints now. Joel Smingy is in at the right outside linebacking position. So like Carl Dunbar will be playing at defensive end. Wayne Martin remains in. Les Snow is still in the defensive line. Atkins and Max at the safety spots. Buck and Reggie Jones are the corners.
We had timeout for an injured player. Let's give him the second Saints Halo Hall of Famer clue for this game. By myself, I blocked 3 Rams to set up John Gilliam's opening day kickoff return for a touchdown on the Saints' first play ever. Think you know who that is? Mail your entry or postcard to Southwest Airlines Halo Hall of Fame Contest, 111 Veterans Boulevard, Suite 704, Metairie, Louisiana, 70005. The drawing deadline for winning entries is September 2nd. By myself, I blocked 3 Rams to set up John Gilliam's opening day kickoff return for a touchdown on the Saints' first play ever. Think you know who that is?
That's a hard one.
Right, Southwest Airlines.
I know Joe Wenderhowski claimed to have blocked 5, I think.
That's what I was going to say.
It is not Joe.
It isn't Joe?
And if it was, you would have just made a lot of entries angry. 9:12 remaining third quarter. 2nd down and 7 from the 23-yard line after the injury problem. Peterson, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, down with the man in motion. It was one of the tight ends. Snap, handoff goes to Humphrey, jukes the player at the 22, gets outside, and outruns Reggie Jones for a moment and gains to the 26 before he is smothered. Guys, did you catch who that was?
That was Brad Maxey. You know, Humphrey's kind of just dancing around back there, not really going north and south a great deal. He's had a couple of nice runs. Looks like he really doesn't want to get hit. Scott Case was in at the... No, not Scott Case.
Scott Ross?
Scott Ross, excuse me. Case plays for Atlanta. Scott Ross was in at inside linebacker that time. I think maybe DeMond Winston came down with an injury on the previous series. We'll check that out and hope it's not serious.
It is 3rd down and 4 from the 26-yard line, needing to reach the 30 for the first down. Peterson back to pass, throws a long pass for Martin downfield, in and out of his hands, defending on the play for the Saints, and with a good job of defense that time. It was in and out of his hands. Tony Martin.
Tyrone Leggett was on the cover.
Okay.
Yeah, in the absence of Mark Clayton, Tony Martin is their best burner on the outside, and he had a couple of steps on Leggett. The ball was a bit underthrown, but give Tyrone Leggett, who hasn't made much of a name for himself in preseason, a lot of credit for knocking that ball away. That's a nice recovery.
And with all due apologies to Tyrone Leggett, the punt snap to Roby was fumbled. He picks it up and kicks a wobbly punt down the field. It's fielded by Newman at the 36-yard line. Gets free of a tackle. It's a Saints avoid a clip by Ross there. They've got more yardage up to the 40-yard line. I thought for a moment that Scott Ross may have clipped an opponent, but Newman runs it back to the 40-yard line after the wobbly punt of 41 yards off the toe of Reggie Roby. Timeout. 8:05 left to go, third quarter. It's 14-3 Saints, and you're listening to Saints football.
With approved credit, standard bank, equipment, tax title, license not included, caravan, 72-month financing, 11.9% APR ranking according to Chrysler Corp. Car buyers, Ray Brandt, Louisiana's #1 Dodge dealer, wants to put a Dodge in your garage. Get the 92 Caravan for $11,990 or $2,500 down, $199 a month. Conversion vans are just $14,995 at Ray Brandt Dodge, 1660 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. There's only room in this town for one Dodge dealer. That's Ray Brandt Dodge. The rest, get out of Dodge!
There's one bank that lives by its motto of absolutely the best personal service in New Orleans. That bank is your friends at United Bank and Trust. At United Bank and Trust, they make it their business to know each of their customers personally because they know to better serve all your banking needs, they have to take a one-on-one approach. Whether it's home mortgages, car loans, home improvement loans, or small business loans, United Bank and Trust at 2714 Canal Street can help. United Bank and Trust, where personal service isn't just a motto, it's the way United does business with you.
Tomorrow morning at 7:15, have your dial locked in to 93.3. CJ Superstar Morgan's going to let you know how you can pick up on tickets to the hottest concert coming to the Crescent City.
Come and talk to me, I really want to meet you, girl.
with their second possession of the second half. First and 10 at their own 40-yard line, and it's still Steve Walsh in the lineup as the quarterback, with Small and Bolton to the left and Dowdell to the right. Vaughn Dunbar behind Walsh. He gets the handoff, crosses the 40, the 45, now the 46. Before he is pulled down from behind, it'll be second down and about 4 yards to go.
Good hard running on a straight ahead handoff to Vaughn Dunbar on the left side of the line.
Well, he really hits that hole quickly, doesn't he? Starts very fast.
They're going to give him 7 yards up to the 47. It'll be second down and 3. The Saints have only 1 first down in the second half.
Steve Walsh scheduled just to play the third quarter, and Mike Buck get another opportunity to play tonight. Supposed to go the 4th.
Second down and 3 from the 47-yard line. The tight end is Greg Scales, who continues to improve health-wise. He's lined up on the right. 2 wide receivers to the left. Football on the left hash mark from the 47. Walsh back to pass, looking to hand off to Dunbar. Now he may be setting up a screen, and he's going to get sacked back at the 33-yard line. And Walsh looks up at Dunbar after he's tackled and returns the ball to the official after the big loss.
Just a guess, but I think that was supposed to be a play-action pass. Probably a play-action off the misdirection play. Looked like Steve wanted to fake to Vaughn Dunbar, and Vaughn just ran to the left. I think he probably made a mistake, but also when Steve Walsh got in trouble back there, he probably should have just thrown that ball away. 4 people zeroing in on him. There's nothing he's going to do. You got to get rid of the football.
Loss of 12 on the sack. Back to the 35. It'll be third down and 15 yards to go. And the Saints on third down conversions are now 4 of 8. Walsh looks at a 4-man defensive front with 2 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Third and a bunch from the 35 for the Saints. Straight back to pass. Good protection for Steve Walsh. Throws, and it's caught by Torrance Small at the 40, and then he's driven backwards to about the 37-yard line. We'll see where they give forward progress to Torrance Small.
Not his primary target. I'm sure Steve would like to have gotten downfield with that ball in the 15 to 18-yard range. But spot no one, just threw the little short crossing pattern to Torrance Small, and the Saints had to punt it away.
4-yard gain to Torrance Small. They'll mark it at the 39-yard line. It's 4th down and 11. The Saints are now 4 of 9 on third down conversions. And it's Barnhart to punt. With Scott Miller back to receive. The line of scrimmage is the 39-yard line. With 5:51 remaining here in period number 3. It's a good rush. Barnhart gets a end-over-end kick, but not a spirally kick, and it's fumbled by Miller. He dives on the ball at the 20-yard line. There's also a flag on the play.
Scott Miller recovers the fumble.
The flag was thrown by one of the deep officials in the receiving area of Miller, who ran it too far up on that knuckleball punt by Tommy Barnhart, fumbled it, and it goes back to the 20-yard line. 5:40 remaining here in period number 3. It's 14-3. Saints leading. During the kick, a holding penalty on the receiving team. So it'll be half the distance to the goal, and we have timeout on the field. So the Dolphins will be inside the 20 with 5:40 remaining third period. 14-3, Saints lead. We'll return in a moment after this for Popeyes and Ford Quality Care.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Now with
Archie Manning singing in the background. Tabasco brand products want to remind you that a proud sponsor of Saints football on radio is the Tabasco brand pepper sauce, 7-spice chili, and Tabasco brand Bloody Mary mix. Like the Saints, they're a Louisiana legend.
Back to action now. 5:40 remaining, third period. 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line after the holding penalty on the punt run back, which was fumbled and then recovered at the 20. Still Peterson at quarterback. Handoff goes to Humphrey. Darts left and right, crosses to 10, and gets 1 or 2 yards before an entire Saints defensive line makes the tackle at 2nd down and long.
The word from the bench, David, is Devon Winston has a sore hamstring. He is questionable to return.
Well, so that's 3 hamstrings in 2 weeks.
Gain of 1 yard.
Floyd Turner, James Williams remain back in New Orleans of this trip with strained hamstrings from last week's game.
Gain of 1. 2nd down and 9 at the 11-yard line. Moving from our right to left, from the south to the north here at Memorial Stadium. Doug Peterson, the quarterback, with a flanker and a wide out to the left. He's flushed out of the pocket, out of his own end zone, has to get rid of the ball, and threw an interception, but it was caught out of bounds by Reginald Jones at the 15 on a shovel-type desperation pass forward from Doug Peterson.
Both Wilkes and Schmengi really came with good rushes. Wilkes almost had him in the end zone for a safety. Then Schmengi came up to force that throw that was almost intercepted.
3rd down and 9.
Was Joel Schmengi adjusting to the outside linebacking position. Initially dropped into coverage, then came hard.
The ball was actually caught by the defender, Reggie Jones, but he was out of bounds on the reception. So it's 3rd down and 9 from the 11-yard line, and the Dolphins are 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. This is their 3rd possession. They have 2 first downs here in the second half, both by big Bobby Humphrey runs of 13 and 15 yards. They haven't been able to do much of anything else. And we have a whistle, and delay of game is going to be called against the Miami Dolphins on this 3rd down and 9. So they'll back down inside the 5-yard line.
Young Doug Peterson, first-year player out of Northeast Louisiana, last week against Tampa Bay was 6 of 12, 95 yards. Did have 2 touchdown passes.
Set inside the 5, just shy of the 5. It'll be 3rd down and 14 from officially the 6-yard line. 4:55 remaining third quarter. Saints lead 14-3. All of the scoring in the first half. Saints scored on their first 2 possessions. 1 on a 22-yard pass to Patrick Newman. Here's the snap from his own end zone. Doug Peterson back to pass. In being rushed, throws. It's intercepted by the Saints. Coming up with it is Brett Maxey at the 20-yard line. He gets up, is still running at the 15 and then out of bounds, but the officials are going to call him down at the 20-yard line. Brett Maxey gets an interception. Welcome back.
The Saints have been close for a couple other times tonight on an interception. The young quarterback just took a gamble right there. He got in trouble, tried to throw it into a crowd. Actually threw it right to Brett Maxey.
And the 2 converted defensive linemen to outside linebacker, both coming with some pressure. Turnbull from the left and Joel Schmengi from the right.
Maxey's interception, as we just heard from our referee, Jerry Austin, it was an interception. He was ruled down by contact at the 20-yard line. Saints have it 1st and 10, 20 yards away with 4:43 remaining third quarter.
Well, let's see what the Saints can do here as Mike Buck has come on. The Saints have not scored in a third quarter in preseason so far.
Hayward and Dunbar behind Mike Buck, who gets the snap. Handoff goes to Vaughn Dunbar, who cuts right back left, gets it opening 15, down to the 10. He's still running over a Dolphin defender to the 10-yard line. Good block there by Ironhead Hayward and a great cutback by Vaughn Dunbar.
The Saints have got 3 obviously excellent tailbacks, and they all have a little bit of a different style. You've got Dalton Hilliard, who's a moves man. Fred McAfee is more a speed burner. Vaughn Dunbar seems to have a combination of the 2.
Yeah, and I think they can be very effective using all 3. Just a matter of trying to decide how to use each one, what plays they like better, how much to play this guy. Number 32, though, needs some playing time. This guy can break it.
Buck, the quarterback. Kennard is the center. Hayward, the fullback. Dunbar, the I-back. He gets the handoff. 1st and goal from the 10. Sweeping right to the 10, to the 5, and he is knocked down right at the 1-yard line. Saving the touchdown that time and saving Dunbar from getting in is Lewis Oliver. 4th-year product out of Florida. Was his first-round draft choice back in '89.
Dunbar puts on some pretty good moves in the backfield and into the linebackers there, but into the secondary, he pretty much just tries to run over people.
And he took on the best tackler in the Miami secondary, too, and Lewis Oliver. He'll hit you, and Dunbar gave as good as he got on that one, almost stuck it in.
2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Saints cannot get a first down. 3:21 remaining here in the third period. They'll get one if they score, but they can't get one before a score. 14-3, Saints lead. Out of the I formation. Stowers, the tight end in motion from right to left. Handoff to Dunbar, and he is stuck close to the line of scrimmage. He did not get in. Little or no gain. It'll be 3rd and goal.
No chance there. Just Dolphins come crashing through.
T.J. Turner, left defensive end, was really quick off the ball and wrapped him up. He had no chance and lost about a yard on the play.
He did indeed. It's 3rd down and goal from the 2, and coming out of the lineup is Jim Dombrowski at tackle, and Richard Cooper goes in to replace him. 3rd and goal from the 2. Stowers will be tied in on the left side. Scales tied in on the right side. And there's an extra blocker.
Actually, Richard Cooper's playing tight end on the left side.
All right. Out of the I formation, Stowers in motion, handoff Dunbar, tries to dive into the end zone and dives down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 4th and goal. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Saints football.
WQUE-FM New Orleans, the official FM station of the New Orleans Saints.
Fourth down, goal to go for the 1.
4th and goal from the 1, and these heavily favored Baltimore fans are booing the Saints' decision to send Morton Anderson in to boot through a short field goal.
Yeah, Archie was booing that too, weren't you, Arch? You need to go for it here, don't you? This is shorter than an extra point. This doesn't prove anything.
It'll be an 18-yard field goal attempt. On 4th down, Barnhart to hold, ball down, kick in the air. It would have been good from a bunch.
He is good.
1:37 remaining 3rd quarter. The Saints open up a 14-point lead once again. It's Saints 17 and Miami 3. You're listening to Saints football.
What can you buy for $9.95 these days?
We deliver.
Quite a lot. With express mail overnight delivery service from your post office.
We deliver.
For less than $10, you put the full power of the United States Postal Service to work for you. Over 700,000 men and women ready to do whatever it takes to assure next morning delivery. Express mail service, just $9.95 for up to 8 ounces. Sponsored by your Postal Service.
The Saints are the #1 team in New Orleans. First Communication is the first team in communication. Right now, First Communication would like to show you their lineup of superstars in terms of telephone systems and service. You may even get a quarterback. Let First Communication review their playbook with you and defend against breakdown and high cost in your present system. First Communication guarantees to play hard every day and give you a championship telephone or communication system. Don't fumble away this opportunity. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and be part of a winning team. Tomorrow morning at 7:15, have your dial locked in to 93.3. CJ Superstar Morgan's going to let you know how you can pick up on tickets to the hottest concert coming to the Crescent City.
Come and talk to me. I really want to be together. You remind me of a love that I want to do.
Listen, tomorrow morning at 7:15 is CJ and Company. Tomorrow morning at 7:15, listen to CJ and Company to find out how you can check out the hottest tour in the Crescent City. But it's only on Continuous Music Q93. You're listening to Q93.
Makes the interception. Morton Anderson gets an 18-yard field goal to make it 17-3. Anderson kicks off. It will be fielded at the 2-yard line, to the 5, up to the 10, up to about the 17-yard line. On the return by Williams that time. Mike Williams, second-year man out of Northwestern, a free agent pickup last year. Jim Henderson, Archie Manning, and I here to tell you about this year's Popeyes Pop of the Game, sponsored by Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits. At the end of the ball game, and each week during the season, we'll select the outstanding Pop of the Game by a Saints player. In recognition of that big hit, Popeyes will donate $500 to his favorite local charity. Popeyes proud to be able to recognize an outstanding individual effort and help out the community with this weekly donation to a deserving institution. Stay tuned later this game for our Popeyes Pop of the Game.
That was a pretty good one by Sean Lumpkin on the kickoff right there.
After the run back by Williams, it's first down and 10 on the 18-yard line. Handoff goes to Humphrey, sweeping near side, and gains to the 24, quickly 6 yards on the play. It's second down and 4.
Saints still with a mixture of starters and backup people in the game. Miller and Wilkes are in. Vaughn Johnson still in the game.
Second down and 4.
From the 18 up to the 24-yard line, it was a gain of 6, second down and 4 from the 25. Now, just a minute remaining in the third period.
One thing that must be pleasing Jim Moore, unlike last week, the kicking game. They've really answered his challenge. They've done a fine job in every respect tonight.
Mike Williams, wide left. Tony Martin, who got the start in place of Clayton, wide right. Peterson back to pass, throws. It's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Tony Page, and incomplete. And the Saints almost had another interception.
Yeah, ball was tipped. Just no one was in the vicinity before it hit the ground. Dolphins will face a third down.
And the Dolphins love to do that. They love to throw to Page out of the backfield. He caught 57 passes last year in that role.
He just got in camp. Is that correct?
Right. Held out through the first 4 games.
Looks like he's been eating well.
Yes.
Just activated today. 3rd down and 4 from the 25. The Dolphins are 3 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. 2 wideouts to the near side, Robert Clark and Mike Williams. With 2 wideouts to the right side. That's Duper along with Scott Miller.
7 defensive backs in the game for the Saints.
Out of the shotgun, Peterson back to pass, throws in and out of the hands of Bobby Humphrey, intended for the running back at the 30-yard line, right at first down, but it hit him right in the shoulder pads, incomplete. 4th down and 4 now, and Reggie Roby comes in to punt for the 3rd time this second half.
I don't know, maybe Bobby Humphrey's just waiting on the regular season, but he still doesn't look like the answer for the Dolphins to me.
No, he doesn't.
Roby stands at his own 10, the line of scrimmage to 24.
A good time for a punt return here. Good punt return.
Saints set up with 10 men right on the line of scrimmage. Patrick Newman deep to receive, stands at his own 30. The punt team peels back. Newman backs up to the 25. He'll try to run to the left. Now jukes a player and is caught right at the 27-yard line after the 51-yard punt by Reggie Roby, just a return of 2 or 3. On the heels of the team's first ever NFC West Division Championship, Wayne Mack has penned the book Saga of the Saints. And you can order now by calling 1-800-358-1950. 1-800-358-1950 for a book the entire crew has heartily endorsed, The Saga of the Saints, published by Arthur Hardy. It's only available by public appearance and by calling 1-800-358-1950. Saints have it, 1st down and 10. At their own 28-yard line, out of the I formation, the quarterback has been Mike Buck with Buford Jordan and Fred McAfee in the I. Wide receivers left and right, the tight end, Stowers on the left, back to pass Buck, throws in the flat, caught by McAfee, and a good grab, 30, 35, 1st down at the 40-yard line, and then he is neck tackled out of bounds after about a 12-yard gain.
Clifford Hobley, I think it was, who got him.
That's right.
Former LSU star.
Who we said at the first of the game leads this team in tackles so far in preseason. 6th-year man out of LSU. He's picked up by the Dolphins as a free agent back in '87. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. This play will not get off before the end of the 3rd quarter. That's the end of the 3rd frame. Saints leading 17-3. The only scoring here in the second half has been a Morton Anderson field goal. 17-3. Saints lead going to the final period. You're listening to Saints football.
Odyssey's got the juice. So get busy and get over to Odyssey. All 3 locations, Carrollton Shopping Center, 1012 Canal Street, and the East Lake Shopping Center are all saving you money on the best music in town. Come on MCA CDs and cassettes, the electrifying solo artist extraordinaire, Mr. Double himself, Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown's back with his hit release. Ain't nobody hovering around, y'all. Pick up the hot new release on MCA CDs and cassettes by Bobby Brown, called Bobby. Now it's selling all 3 locations of Odyssey. Only $7.99 cassette or $11.99 compact disc. Bobby Brown. It's good enough by Bobby. On sale now at all 3 locations of Odyssey, the Carrollton Shopping Center, 1012 Canal Street, and the East Lake Shopping Center. Odyssey, where hearing is believing.
Exxon Shop salutes the 26th Saint season with special savings they're passing on to you. Save with the Tiger all summer long. Stop in a local convenient Exxon shop near you and stock up on plenty of 10K. Meet summer heat with lots of 10K. All 32-ounce flavors only 99 cents at all participating Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shops. Stock up on plenty of 10K. All 32-ounce flavors only 99 cents at all participating Exxon shops. Rely on the Tiger. Rely on your Exxon shops. Prices may vary at participating locations.
You're listening to Q93.
Well, the theme here tonight has been Give Baltimore the Ball, and 60,021 fans have filled every seat here in Memorial Stadium, urging the NFL to do just that. Lots of times the cheer erupting. Give us a team. We want a team. They've done a great job here. If they do get a team in '94, they would play one season here while they build a new ballpark adjacent to Camden Yards downtown. That would be quite a facility.
Boy, would it. What a beautiful place. The Orioles were in town last night, beat the Angels 6-4. What a fantastic facility.
Buck, the quarterback. It's 1st and 10 from the Saints' 40-yard line. 5 men on the defensive line with 3 wide receivers. Handoff goes to McAfee. Bounces outside and then falls down back at his own 37-yard line for a loss. We said Morton Anderson had a field goal of about 18 yards in the third quarter. We have not seen Kerry Blanchard kick any tonight, Jim.
That's going to be an interesting situation, David. Kerry Blanchard obviously has proven to a lot of folks in preseason that he can kick in this league. 6 out of 6, his longest 48 yards. And there are a number of teams that have already expressed interest in preseason in acquiring a kicker, one being the Cowboys, with whom he went to camp last year, the Jets and the Broncos. Pretty good teams that wouldn't probably get him if he had to go through waivers, so maybe a trade will be forthcoming here.
2nd down, 13 from the 37. Buck straight back to pass, being rushed at the screen, and McAfee drops the ball at the 35-yard line, but it was thrown a little behind him. It'll be 3rd down and 13.
Well, Fred probably should have had it. I'm not sure how far he would have gone. It looked as though a linebacker slipped through the screen.
3rd down and 13.
Saints, on their last 3rd down conversion, did not convert, so they're 4 of 10 on 3rd downs in this game. Leading 17-3, though, now with 14-16 remaining in the contest. The team will fly back home tonight after this game in Baltimore. 3rd and 13, 2 wideouts to the right, 2 wideouts to the near side, and that's about all the Saints brought in wide receivers. Snapped in the shotgun, back to Buck, and he's sacked with a big hit back at the 28-yard line. Kaboom! Making the tackle was T.J. Turner, 7th-year player out of Houston.
Behind the line of scrimmage by number 95.
All 6'4" and 280 pounds of him.
Not sure who he beat, but he came from the middle. Mike Buck trying to step up and throw, just bear hugged by Turner, thrown to the ground.
4th down and 20 from the 30-yard line now. Barnhart's in to punt.
So he probably came around Steve Trapillo.
13:47 remaining here in the 4th period. Saints lead by 14. Snap back in good shape this time to Barnhart, and he kicks a screamer back to the 20-yard line where it's taken by Miller up to the 30, the 35, and he steps out of bounds at about the 38-yard line after the 50-yard punt by Barnhart.
Well, the Dolphins are slated to open their regular season at home next week against the New England Patriots, and there's a lot of discussion that they and the Patriots will swap those dates, and the Patriots will host the Dolphins because of the remnants of Hurricane Andrew and the tremendous destruction down there. And then in December, I think it's the last weekend of the regular season, the Patriots would come to Miami. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I was talking to Dan Marino before the game. He said, boy, he'd love that, not to have to go to Foxborough on December 27th. We'll be in New York playing the Jets on the day before, on the 26th of December.
Doug Peterson back to pass, throws downfield, and I thought it was intercepted for a moment. Good defensive play by the Saints. It was intended for Scott Miller, and Jimmy Spencer was defending.
That was a nice play by Spencer. He had his back to the quarterback as he rolled out. He read the receiver's eyes all the way, and he didn't turn to reach back for the ball until the wide receiver's hands went up, and he was out there all by himself and did a nice job defensively. He's had a good preseason.
He's done a good job. Filled in very well on their nickel and dime packages. Decision-making for the Saints this week as they try to get down to their number of defensive backs, whether that'll be 8 or 9.
Cage is in the flank to the left. The wide to the left is Robert Clark. Handoff goes to Bernie Parmalee, who runs the ball for the first time tonight across the 40 up to about the 43 or 44-yard line. Parmalee, who has been on the receiving team this evening, a rookie out of Ball State, was a free agent, can't pick up this year.
Prior to the game, I found Jim Moore in the locker room doing his pregame show, grimmer than he's been before any pregame or any preseason game this preseason. I think there were 2 reasons for that. One, the way they were beaten by the Oilers last week, and also this being cut-down week. It's a very difficult time for a head coach, and it's a very agonizing time for him. It's probably the thing that head coaches like least in their profession.
Peterson out of the shotgun on 3rd down and about 5, and he throws a long pass downfield. It is caught at the 25 to the 20, and down inside the 15-yard line, it's Mike Williams who makes the catch, and it's 1st down for the Dolphins inside the 15.
Well, Williams is a second-year player out of Northeastern. just a streak pattern once again on Tyrone Leggett. Great throw by Peterson. Had a step on Leggett.
It was a 40-yard pass play, and I said inside the 15, but it's down to the 17-yard line inside the 20. First and 10 for the Dolphins, a team which has not scored a touchdown tonight. 40-yard pass to Mike Williams. Doug Peterson is the quarterback. Has a flanker, Page, to the right. Wide receivers right and left. Handoff, bootleg to the right. Hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. A sack by the Saints defense. Back to the 27-yard line.
Ronaldo Turnbull comes in from his outside linebacking spot. Wraps up the quarterback. He does a good job not letting him get away and throwing him for a big loss.
Turnbull looks more comfortable every game, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's preseason experience has been invaluable for him. It's good to get Schmingy back in tonight's game and get some experience. Tough on him being injured for the last 2 weeks. I think both of them will make the team.
9-yard loss, back to the 26. It's second down and 19 to go.
Saints have a little problem at the inside linebacking spot. Of course, Mills and Johnson the starters, but it looks like Williams and Winston both have hamstring problems.
11:24 remaining in the game. Handoff goes to Parmalee, crosses the 25, and gets back down to about the 23-yard line before he's stopped by the middle of the Saints defense. And getting up off the stack first is Wayne Martin. Saints through three quarters had 113 yards rushing and 127 passing. Through three quarters, Miami had 65 yards rushing and 102 yards passing. Saints lead in first downs 14-9. Stats courtesy of our late addition to the crew, Keith Beck, who's helping us out. Third down and long. Third down and about 17 yards to go. Back to pass. Peterson throws. It's caught over the middle at the 15-yard line. Then he fumbled the football, but the officials are going to rule forward. Progress stopped at about the 16-yard line. Pass was complete once again to Scott Miller. Won't be enough for a first down.
I think the Dolphins will probably try a field goal here, even though they trail 17-3.
It's going to be 4th and 10. He just got back to the original line of scrimmage.
So it's fourth down, and as Jim said, about 10 yards to go, and Stojanovic will check into the game. He has one field goal as he booted one through with time expiring in the second quarter. Fourth down, 10:25 remaining in the game. Saints lead 17-3. Jim Jensen to hold. The clock is stopped now by the umpire.
Jim Jensen, who does everything for this team, is now the holder, and that's new for Stojanovic. He also has a new snapper.
Amazing player. 12 years he's been in the league. Made it as a third quarterback. Become a very productive wide receiver for Dan Marino in their 4-receiver set. Runs down on kickoffs.
Into the south end zone from the 22 at the 32-yard attempt. The ball down. The kick is in the air, and it's wide to the left. He missed it. So we have timeout on the field. 10:04 remaining in the game after a missed field goal to the left. Saints lead 17-3. We'll pause for these messages from Southwest Airlines and Ford Quality Care.
These days in business, you have to look at problems as challenges. For instance, they cut my department's travel budget in half and said I had to keep sending out the same number of people. Okay, I accepted the challenge and found a solution. Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free offer. You can buy one round-trip ticket at their low, unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you free, anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. And friends aren't just spouses and pals. They're bosses and partners and clients, too. There's no advance purchase on a Friends Fly Free ticket either. Just make a reservation at least 24 hours in advance and stay over for one night. By the way, this offer doesn't include the $3 local airport tax at Tulsa, Las Vegas, and Oakland. If your plans change at the last minute, Southwest Friends Fly Free tickets are fully refundable. And although seats are limited right now, they're available all week long. Friends Fly Free only on Southwest Airlines. It's the perfect solution to cut your business budget or to turn a short business trip into a long weekend. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
When it comes to getting your Ford serviced, you don't want any surprises. That's why Interstate Ford in Metairie keeps the prices for the most common services listed on a menu over the service counter, so you can see what the charges are up front. Like an engine tune-up for as low as $39.95. Stop in at Interstate Ford, 3724 Veterans Boulevard in Metairie anytime. There are no surprises here. Quality care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Back back in Baltimore. Come into any participating New Orleans Popeyes and pick up the official 92 Saints bumper sticker. Each sticker has a coupon good on Popeyes menu items, the Saints Super Sweepstakes entry form, and the 92 Saints schedule. Pick one up today. Be one of our weekly winners from your friends at the Saints Network and Popeyes. First and 10, Saints at the 20-yard line after the missed field goal by Stoyanovich. Buck is the quarterback, and behind him in the backfield is Buford Jordan and Ron Dunbar. Dowdell in motion from right to left. Handoff Dunbar sweeping right, crosses the 20, gets up to the 25, maybe the 27-yard line before he's down by a host of Miami Dolphins.
Well, McGuire's the center, the fourth-round pick out of Notre Dame. Trapillo and Giesler at guards. Trey Bill. I'm not sure who the right tackle is.
7 yards on the play. Second down and 3.
Graybill is in there, all 288 and 6'8" of him.
Like Chris Port's over at the right tackle spot. Dowdell out at one receiver. Nathaniel Bolton at the split end. Jordan and Dunbar, the running backs. Buck at quarterback.
Out of the split backfield this time. Buck looking in a 5-man defensive front on second down and short. Handoff goes to Dunbar once again. He does not get, Buford Jordan, and he does not get first down yardage. Maybe gets one to the 29.
It's getting a little slow here now, guys. I think we might could play one of those Joe Theismann interviews. They might carry us through the rest of the game.
You like that at the first, huh?
I asked him a simple question. He hit on 4 different subjects.
Might carry us through the Philadelphia game.
Saints are 4 of 11 on third down conversions.
What's the old line about Theismann they used to say? You say, how you do, or hi Joe, what do you know? And he tells you everything.
Does that mean he knows everything?
Well,
third down and 1 from the 29. Saints with double tight ends and one tight end lined up as a flanker. Handoff to Dunbar, and he just couldn't get out of traffic and loses yardage back to the 27-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 3 yards to go. 8:30 remaining in this game.
That was not an impressive series right there on part of the Saints. 3 running plays. The third down play just beat immediately right at the line. No movement.
The proud sponsor of the New Orleans Saints Radio Network. One of them is Sears Brand Central. The brand you want at the store you trust.
Back deep to receive is Scott Miller. Tommy Barnhart will punt. The line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line. Saints leading 17-3 over the Dolphins here from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Miller stands at his own 25-yard line. Snap back in good shape. There's a wobbly kick off the toe of Barnhart. It hits at the 40-yard line and gets out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. So not a good punt for Barnhart. And we have timeout on the field, about a 34-yard kick for the Saints punter. 7:49 remaining in the game. Saints leading 17-3, and you are listening to Saints football.
The law office of Cardell Thomas provides competent and trustworthy legal advice in a warm and comfortable environment. This team of legal professionals has served their New Orleans community for the past 10 years. Now, if you have legal problems, their professionals stand poised to help you. Cardell Thomas and his associates has assisted thousands of people just like you in cases from maritime, personal injury, criminal, divorces, and succession. Stop by their office at 3723 Canal Street or call 482-2841. 482-2841. The law firm of Cardell Thomas gets results. With the help of the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital, you can maximize your potential in sports. If sports injuries occur, you'll have comfort in knowing the Sports Medicine Center is there. State-of-the-art medical technology, physical rehabilitation, and fitness equipment, plus the multi-specialty staff at the Sports Medicine Center can enhance your body's performance. Sports Medicine Center can prevent, diagnose, treat, and rehabilitate injuries far more effectively than ordinary hospitals or health spas. See for yourself. Call 885-3488 for more information.
Tomorrow morning at 7:15, have your dial locked in to 93.3. CJ Superstar Morgan's gonna let you know how you can pick up on tickets to the hottest concert coming to the Crescent City.
Come and talk to me, I really want to be together. You remind me of a love that I want to do.
Listen, tomorrow morning at 7:15 is CJ and Company. Tomorrow morning at 7:15, listen to CJ and Company to find out how you can check out the hottest tour in the Crescent City. But it's only on Continuous Music Q93. You're listening to Q93.
The Dolphins will have it. This is their 6th offensive possession of the second half. That's a stark comparison to the first half when the Saints had the football most of the 2 periods. Peterson passes to his tight end. It's caught over the middle.
Pass is complete to number 88, Dave Moore.
Up to about the 49-yard line before he is down, and we know that that's...
Well, the public address side said it was Dave Moore. My notes say it's Doug Wellstamp. Who you got?
I don't even have an 88 listed.
You know who that probably is? That's probably Chris Dressler, who was just picked up 2 days ago. This guy played with the Oilers a long time ago when I was with the Oilers. He's been picked up 2 days. I was talking to him before the game, and I said, "Who's that?" He said, "I don't know. I just got here." He didn't know any of the Dolphin players, and we don't know him.
It's 2nd down and 1 at the 48-yard line. Handoff goes to Aaron Craver, and he gets first down yardage up to about the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Well, I hope they don't throw into him anymore, so we won't mess his name up. At the midfield stripe, 1st down and 10. That's the 10th first down of the ball game for the Dolphins, but only their 4th here in the second half.
Well, that is Dave Moore.
First down and 10.
It's Dave Moore, a rookie out of Pittsburgh. He had the same number 90 as Marco Coleman did, so they changed his number to 88 and didn't call us.
You probably feel a little better about making the team when you get a number that's not the same as someone else's.
Well, Dave Moore is in motion from left to right. Back to pass. Peterson throws over the middle. It's caught by Page at the 40 to the 35. We have a flag thrown as he's down at about the 32-yard line. Tony Page.
Maybe a face mask there. No, I think we got a little push off on part of the Dolphins. They'll bring it back.
Pass interference.
88 pushing off.
Dave Moore. If it is indeed him.
I'm not sure that's him.
That's Dave Moore.
How you know it's not Chris Dressler? Wait, what number is Dressler?
Because Moore's got Moore written on the back of his jersey.
Okay, Dressler is 94 on this one. That's a good, he's on the back of his jersey, huh?
Hey, do you think they weighed Tony Page on the same scales they weighed Ironhead Hayward? He's listed at 235.
Yeah, but he's just 5'4".
First down and 20 now, back at the 40. He's actually 5'10", but everyone looks short to Archie, who towers at what?
Well, I'm 6'3". I was 6'7" when I first came to the Saints.
Back to pass Peterson on 1st and 20. There's the throw into the flat. Was intended for Craver and incomplete. And depending on the play was Smingy at the 45-yard line. And it's now going to be 2nd down and 20.
I'm sure that's pleasing to the Saints coaches, defensive coaches, to see Joel Smingy on his drop, on his own coverage, react to a pass, break up a pass.
5:57 remaining in the game, 17-3, Saints lead.
ESPN showing a shot of Ted Hendricks looking on. Joel Smingy is not a Ted Hendricks as yet, but they'd like to see him play sort of the same role.
Wide to the right, Robert Clark. Miller is wide to the left, split backfield this time. Page and Craver behind quarterback Doug Peterson. He's played most of the second half. Peterson back to pass, setting up the screen. Throws to Craver, running room, 35, 40, tries to juke. He does juke Smingy at the 45, 50, the 45, down to the 42-yard line. Nice run by Craver after he catches the pass and gets about 19 yards downfield to the 41. It'll be 3rd down and about 1 yard to go.
Oh, Vaughn Johnson would really be upset with himself. Read the screen, was in the backfield, right there to make the tackle, just missed it, and Craver goes for about another 25 yards from where Vaughn would have made the tackle.
3rd and 1 from the 41. Now in Saints territory, the Dolphins on the move. Here in the 4th quarter, trailing by 14 points. 5:16 remaining. Page is in the flank to the left with wide receivers left and right. Handoff goes to Parmalee, sweeping right. Evades one would-be tackler and dives for about a yard at the 40-yard line. It'll be close to a first down and is a first down at the 40.
Well, Scott Ross, not Case, wraps him up, but Ronaldo Turnbull is the guy that really forced him wide. Getting a shot on our monitor now, Bubba Smith. Not a bad lineman.
Great actor.
I liked him in Police Story.
Police Academy.
Police Academy.
Well, you know,
What's 6? Police Academy 3. No, 7.
Police Academy 7, that was my favorite, too. Had a much better plot than Police Academy 6.
Back to pass. Peterson rolling to the left. Throws a long pass downfield. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. Intended for Robert Clark with 2 Saints defending on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 40.
Well, I think they're picking on Tyrone Leggett a little bit. In good shape that time, along with Brett Maxey.
Maxey breaks up the play.
4:32 remaining in the game. Saints scored a Bobby Hebert 22-yard pass to Pat Newman in the first quarter. Dalton Hilliard capped an 80-yard drive with a 2-yard run in the second quarter. Stoyanovich kicked a field goal to end the second quarter to make it 14-3 Saints. Morton Anderson kicked an 18-yard field goal to make it 17-3 back at the 137 point in the third period. We have no score here in the fourth frame. Back to pass on 2nd and 10. Doug Peterson crosses the middle, and it is complete at the 24-yard line to Scott Miller. About a 16-yard completion, and Miami has 1st and 10 inside the 25.
Nice throw by Doug Peterson. Scott Miller down, ran a break-in on Jimmy Spencer about 18 yards down the field. Good protection for Peterson. He delivers the football on target.
We're going to correct it to 17 yards, and it's 1st and 10 from the 23. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the New Orleans Saints radio network, flies the newest pure jet fleet in America. Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart. Peterson back to pass on 1st and 10 for the 23. Lobs one for the end zone. It's overthrown and incomplete. Intended for Aaron Craver. Defending on the play for the Saints was Vaughn Johnson.
Yeah, Wayne Martin had some really good penetration then and hit him on the arm as he delivered the ball, and it just fluttered out of bounds and incomplete.
And don't forget, in a moment, we'll be picking our Popeyes top of the game for the outstanding hit in this contest.
Well, it looks like Jim Moore is about to enjoy his 3rd winning preseason during his tenure with the Saints.
And first win over Don Shula. As you mentioned earlier, Jim, 0-1 in preseason, 0-1 in regular season against the Miami Dolphins and Don Shula.
2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line, and the Saints will get their 3rd win of this preseason. Peterson, one-step drop, now hands off to Parmalee, off left tackle, 25, down to the 20-yard line, and maybe inside. It'll be a 3rd down and short situation coming up.
All of which counts for nothing next week when the Saints go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. They've got a lot of problems along their defensive line. We might expect a trade to be made by the Eagles prior to this game.
Jets are leading Philadelphia 19-13 in the third quarter, or rather the fourth period in a preseason game tonight. Also, San Diego leads the Rams 7-0 in the first.
Jets pulled that one out. I think they'd wind up their preseason at 5-0.
It is 3rd down, 6 yards to go on the 19-yard line. Peterson back to pass. It's intercepted at the 10-yard line to the 15. Now he jukes back. It's Gene Atkins up to the 20-yard line to the 25, and he's tackled at the 28-yard line. How about that? Brett Maxey gets an interception. So does Gene Atkins.
Who says you need a training camp?
Timeout, 3:03 remaining in the game. Saints lead 17-3. Now this for Popeyes and your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealers. The footballs are flying, and New Orleans is out to win the West again. And as an official member of the Saints training table, your local Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits is proud to offer the best fans in the league, the Saints Touchdown Special. Enough of our famous New Orleans-style chicken and sides to feed 4 hungry fans and then some. This month's Saints Touchdown Special includes a box of hot, fresh Popeyes chicken, your choice of any 16-ounce side item, and 4 buttermilk biscuits for only $9.99. So come on in to your neighborhood Popeyes for a Saints Touchdown Special at the super party price of just $9.99. Home cooking for the home team. That's what Popeyes Saints Touchdown Special is all about. Pick one up today.
Dropping back to the end zone straight, dancing around, throwing to the sideline, and is picked off by Toy Cook at the 30. He's to the 28. He's down to the 20-yard line, diving forward to the 19. The Saints have it anyway.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save on Jeep Cherokee, Eagle Talon, Eagle Summit Wagon, and the legendary Jeep Wrangler. Hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation. Jeep and Eagle, official sponsors of the 92 U.S. Olympic team.
See your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Whatever direction you're headed, just go Southwest. Southwest Airlines, that is. With frequent flights and the lowest unrestricted fares, it's just plain smart. For reservations, call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
And our pick of this week's Popeyes Pop of the Game will be presented by Archie Manning.
Well, Sean Welkin, Pop of the Game, got a good lick on, I believe it was Mike Williams on a kickoff return for the Dolphins, and he'll be awarded our Popeyes Pop of the Game.
And I'll talk more about that in just a moment. After the Atkins interception, Saints have it 1st down and 10. Mike Buck is the quarterback. Buford Jordan is the fullback. Vaughn Dunbar the running back, with Dowdell and Bolton to the right. Dowdell in motion from right to left now in the formation. Handoff goes to Dunbar. He breaks across the 20, or rather the 30 to the 35, and close to a 1st down at the 40-yard line.
Vaughn Dunbar wants to break a touchdown right here in these last 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Saints leading 17-3. 2:50 remaining in the game. A gain of 11, and it's first down and 10 at the 40.
Hey, Mike Buck's in again, fourth quarter. Now, he's got more playing time than any quarterback in the preseason. How do you read this?
Well, I've come to agree with you. I think they'll stay with 3 quarterbacks. I don't know if this early in his maturation you want to make Mike Buck your second quarterback. You know, besides Marino, almost nobody goes all the way as a starter in the NFL anymore. Everybody misses playing time. I'm not so sure Mike Buck is yet ready to be the number 2 guy.
Okay. First and 10 from the 40-yard line. Dowdell in motion from flanker right to left. Out of the split-back formation. Handoff again goes to Dunbar, and he's down behind the line of scrimmage at the 39.
Well, a defensive lineman just slips by the O-line once again for the Saints. Gets Dunbar before by the time he gets the football.
Timeout has been called. Deserving institution. Our pick, Sean Lumpkin, for his tackle of Mike Williams on a kickoff run back earlier. In recognition for his pop of the game, Sean Lumpkin will designate a local charity to receive $500. Tune in next week for our Pop of the Game selection, brought to you by your local Popeyes famous fried chicken and biscuits, where you can register to win Saints game tickets and the Saints Superfan sweepstakes. Sean Lumpkin getting that honor here this evening. So far, Vaughn Dunbar has 14 carries for 62 yards. Saints have second down and 12 yards to go at the 38-yard line. I formation now. A lot of the fans leaving. Draw play. Dunbar, 40. Gets outside. 45, 50. Runs over a player to the 45-yard line.
Oh, that's impressive.
17-yard run for Vaughn Dunbar. And instead of juking or trying to juke back outside, he just ran over 2 more players for 2 more yards.
I think he'll try to juke a linebacker. When he gets into secondary, he just tries to bowl over him. But I formation draw play is a good one for him.
The 2-minute warning has arrived. 17-3. The Saints should win this one. And with timeout, you're listening to Saints football.
Tax title license not included, ranking according to South Central region. Car buyers, if you think you've seen rock bottom deals on new Nissans, Ray Brent Nissan's here to tell you. Till you've seen the great deals at Ray Brent Nissan's Clearance Center, like the 92 240SX for $10,995 or the 92 Maxima $15,995. From Ray Brent, the South's #1 Nissan dealer, 1884 West Bank Expressway, Harvey, cutting down the competition.
Silver Bullet is the right beer now. Brought to you by Coors Light, the crisp tasting beer that's mountains above the rest. Remember to reach for the Silver Bullet when there's no room for filling up. Coors Light,
Tomorrow morning at 7:15, have your dial locked in to 93.3. CJ Superstar Morgan's gonna let you know how you can pick up on tickets to the hottest concert coming to the Crescent City.
Come talk to me, I really want to meet you.
Listen, tomorrow morning at 7:15 is CJ and Company. Tomorrow morning at 7:15, listen to CJ and Company to find out how you can check out the hottest tour in the Crescent City. But it's only on Continuous Music Q93. You're listening to Q93.
Real cooking with a casual atmosphere, crammed full of authentic Louisiana sports memorabilia. We're talking about Stonebreaker's Restaurant in Metairie, serving the world's best baby back ribs, owned by former Saint Steve Stonebreaker, who's here tonight, along with other former Colts. Stonebreaker's ribs. Handoff goes to Buford Jordan after the 1st and 10 play began at the 45-yard line, and he gains very little yardage back to the line of scrimmage.
I hear we may have some baby backs on the plane on the way home, huh?
Really?
The least he could do.
I would think so.
Hey, Stoney looked good out there tonight. I mean, among all those great Colt players.
He said Bubba Smith ate all of them up. We don't have any for the trip home. 1:33 remaining in the game. Saints sitting on a comfortable 17-3 lead with the football. Second down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Saints will finish preseason 3-1. Dolphins will finish preseason 3-2. Wide receivers Bolton to the near side. Dowdell wide to the right. We'll have a free play. It appears as Miami jumped off sides at the start of the play, and Dunbar gains down to the 42.
Well, the Dolphins are 3-2 because they had 5 preseason games. One was the exhibition game in Berlin. And defeated the Denver Broncos. You hear a little rumor about the Saints maybe going to Berlin?
That's what I hear, yeah, that maybe next year the Saints will be one of the teams to make that trip. That'd be fun.
5-yard penalty for encroachment on the defense makes it 2nd down and 5 from the 40.
In fact, the Dolphins this preseason played at 3 neutral sites. They played in Berlin, they played in Orlando, and they're playing here tonight in Baltimore.
Played Tampa Bay, I guess, in Orlando last week. Is that correct?
Here's the handoff to Buford Jordan as he crosses the 40 and is being wrestled by 3 or 4 different Finns at the 38-yard line. He'll be tackled after about a 2-yard gain. Leading the crew there was Dwight Hoyer, who's tied for 3rd on this team with tackles with 10 coming into this game. Rookie out of North Carolina, their 4th-round draft choice this year. 45 seconds remaining.
Well, fellas, it'll be a good one in Philadelphia. If I had my choice of teams I'd want to play on opening day and where, it wouldn't be the Eagles in Philadelphia, but I think you'll know what kind of football team you've got at the end of that one. They're a very physical team. Obviously have a lot of talent. The return of Randall Cunningham. I expect a hard-hitting, tough, low-scoring football game.
Noon kickoff a week from Sunday. Handoff to Jordan, sweeping right, tries to get outside, now cuts up at the 40 and runs into a bunch of players at the 35-yard line. You may have heard the smacking of the pads, and we have a penalty flag as some shoving took place after the play with 12 seconds remaining.
Well, one thing the Saints have always done in recent years is stop Herschel Walker, and they'll get that opportunity again next week, but stopping Randall Cunningham will be the proof of whether they're going to win that game and what kind of team they're going to be, because he's having a great preseason and looks to be fully recovered.
Yeah, saw him take off, I think what was it, in the Georgia Dome last week on about a 46-yard scamper. Although, I understand has a growing pull, probably hold him out of this weekend's game, but I'm sure that won't keep him from a start in the league opener.
That was your man Scott Case who hit him going out of bounds and gave him the groin pull.
That hit him around the head, though.
Chris
Now,
Port.
the Falcons wouldn't tackle like that.
No. I hear they do.
That Georgia Dome looked nice, didn't it? We'll look forward to being over there. I don't know if I look forward to it, but we'll be over there. Third game of the year.
Chris Port guilty of a personal foul that backs the Saints up inside the 50 to their own 49. With 3rd down with 17 yards to go and 12 seconds left, it's probably the last play of the game. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff to Jordan, crosses the 50. He's stuck at the 48-yard line and will be tackled as the clock will run out. It's at 4 seconds right now. That's it. The Saints go 3-1 in preseason, winning over the Dolphins 17-3. Experience the perfect steak. We're talking about Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, home of serious steaks, where your steak is U.S. prime, corn-fed, Midwestern beef, cut by hand daily, boiled at 1,800 degrees, and served sizzling. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, now the #1 prime steakhouse in the country with 32 locations coast to coast. That's tonight's game broadcast. Saints win 17-3 over the Dolphins. Stay tuned for Archie and Jim and yours truly in the wrap-up show next after these messages. You're listening to Saints football.
Get a little closer. Don't be shy.
Arid Double X, the anti-odor antiperspirant, helps keep you extra dry.
Get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry.
We're here with Rock Plummet, captain of the world-famous Flying Boulders parachute team, who today is going to jump from this plane without a parachute.
That's right.
Forgive me, Rock, but isn't jumping without a parachute a little dangerous?
No, jumping isn't dangerous. Landing is dangerous.
But, Rock, your parachute is the only thing that gives you any control of how fast you fall.
Really? I never heard that. Sorry, gotta go.
Woohoo! Well, he certainly lives up to his name.
Everybody knows if you give up control, you're taking a big risk. And yet today, with sexually transmitted diseases, many people don't do what they can to help control and help reduce the risk to their health. Trojan brand latex condoms help reduce the risk of sexually transmitted diseases. They're America's most trusted brand of condoms. So make the right decision and help stay in control with Trojan.
Hey, George, I heard you just purchased a new heat pump.
Yeah, Bill had it installed last week.
Why in the world did you buy a heat pump?
Well, a heat pump's one piece of equipment that provides comfortable heating and cooling with just the flick of a switch. And for each unit of electricity that goes in, you get 3 units of heat out. I mean, it's like getting a $100 value for only $33.
George, where'd you get your heat pump?
We got it from a contractor member of the Louisiana Heat Pump Association. And if you're interested in moving up to the heat pump, just call 1-800-537-4255. They'll provide you with a list of qualified member contractors in your area.
A.D. Barry here, your new friend with the Instant Request and Dedication Party, weeknights at 10. There's only one thing I ask of you, is to let them know where you're from.
This is Red and Johnny calling from the East. Yeah, this is Sonya calling from Kenner.
Gentilly. We got sweet ladies over here in Avondale.
Hi, this is Yolanda from home. I would like to hear Slow Dance by R. Kelly on Q93.
The Instant Request and Dedication Party, only on Continuous Music Q93. It's always more than 93 in a row.
You're listening to Q93. Football proudly sponsored on radio by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. And by Popeye's famous fried chicken and biscuits, official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. And by Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. This is David Garrett along with Jim Henderson and Archie Manning. Our engineer, producer, Robert Carroll, and in studio is Craig Logston. Tonight, the Saints win 17-3 over the Miami Dolphins and did so this way. The Saints opened up in their very first offensive possession of the game, driving 13 plays and 78 yards. Torrance Falk had a 15-yard pass. McAfee had a 9-yard and an 8-yard run, but Bobby Hebert's 22-yard pass play to an open Patrick Newman in the north end zone was the score with 6:59 left to go in the first period. Morton Anderson's extra point kick made it 7-0. Then on the next possession, after the Saints allowed the Dolphins to pick up a first down after a Roby 63-yard punt and a touchback, Saints started at their own 20-yard line. 12 plays, 80 yards later, Dalton Hilliard capped off a tremendous offensive drive, scoring with 10:58 remaining in the second quarter. Anderson's extra point kick made it 14-0. Craig Hayward had a 4-yard run on a 3rd down and 1. He caught an 8-yard pass on a 2nd down and 3. Dowdell caught a 19-yard pass on a 1st down and 10. But it was Bobby Hebert's 21-yard scramble on a 3rd and 5 that was the key play in the drive. No more Saints scoring in the first half. Stojanovic kicked a 47-yard field goal to end the second period. And at halftime, it was 14-3. Saints led. Morton Anderson scored the only points in the second half. He booted through an 18-yard field goal with 1:37 remaining in the third period to make it 17-3. And that's the way this game ends up after Stojanovic missed a field goal attempt after the Dolphins got inside the Saints' 30-yard line late in the ball game. Brett Matsey and Gene Atkins both had interceptions this evening. Morton Anderson did all of the kicking in tonight's game. 17-3, Saints win. Now these messages. You're listening to Saints football.
Odyssey's got the juice. So get busy and get over to Odyssey. All 3 locations, Carrollton Shopping Center, 1012 Canal Street, and the East Lake Shopping Center are all saving you money on the best music in town. Come on. On MCA CDs and cassettes, the electrifying solo artist extraordinaire, Mr. Double himself, Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown's back with his hit release. Ain't nobody humming around, y'all. Pick up the hot new release on MCA CDs and cassettes by Bobby Brown, called Bobby. Now it's selling all 3 locations of Odyssey. Only $7.99 cassette or $11.99 compact disc. Bobby Brown. It's good enough by Bobby. On sale now at all 3 locations of Odyssey, the Carrollton Shopping Center, 1012 Canal Street, and the East Lake Shopping Center. Odyssey, where hearing is believing.
Finding the right home can take a lot of looking. Buying the home can take a lot of money. But getting the best lender can start with a single phone call to Jefferson Savings. We have lots of money for mortgages, and we have the expertise to give you the personal service you want from a lender. So when you find that perfect house, give us a call. We'll help make it home. Jefferson Savings and Loan Association, an equal housing lender. With the help of the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital, you can maximize your potential in sports. If sports injuries occur, you'll have comfort in knowing the Sports Medicine Center is there. State-of-the-art medical technology, physical rehabilitation, and fitness equipment, plus the multi-specialty staff at the Sports Medicine Center can enhance your body's performance. Sports Medicine Center can prevent, diagnose, treat, and rehabilitate injuries far more effectively than ordinary hospitals or health spas. See for yourself. Call 885-3488 for more information.
You're listening to Q93.
Saints are now 3-1 in preseason. They beat Chicago to start the preseason 34-31. Won over Pittsburgh in the Superdome 26-0. Lost this past Saturday to Houston 33-3. Many thought with Dan Marino's passing prowess, the Saints may have trouble tonight. Marino did not have a lot of time to control the football because the Saints controlled the clock in the first half. That was much to Marino's undoing in the first half. Dan Marino was 7 of 15 for 99 yards. His longest was a 40-yard pass to Duper, but really was ineffective as Doug Peterson played in the entire second half, and Marino didn't get to do much more, so the Saints win 17-3. Miami beat Washington in Orlando 22-21 to start the preseason. Lost to Dallas in Miami 27-24. Beat Denver and Berlin 31-27. And beat Tampa Bay and Miami last week 22-7. Saints had a short work week. And now we'll have a long work week before Philadelphia, a week from Sunday at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Once again, the final score with Jim Henderson coming up in the locker room along with Archie Manning. Saints winning by a score of 17-3. This is David Garrett speaking for Archie Manning and Jim Henderson, our engineer and our entire network crew, thanking you for joining us for today's game broadcast. Hope you'll stay tuned for Saints Locker Room Show coming up with Jim Henderson in a few moments. This broadcast was originated and produced by Clear Channel Sports Networks, subsidiaries of Clear Channel Communications Incorporated. Stay tuned, lots more to come, including the Saints Locker Room Show and the NFL Scoreboard here on the Saints Network.
Saints Football, an exclusive presentation on the New Orleans Saints Radio Network, is proudly sponsored by Southwest Airlines, providing frequent flights and low fares, which is why flying Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. And Popeye's Fried Chicken and Biscuits, an official training table product of the New Orleans Saints. And Ford Quality Care. It may be your car, but it's still our baby. And Sears Brand Central, the brand you want at the store you trust. And your Southland Jeep and Eagle dealer. Remember, there's only one Jeep. By Pennzoil Motor Oil and Gum Out, available at all Walmart stores. By BC Headache Powder, no matter where you're hurting, nothing works faster. And by Tabasco Brand Products, Tabasco Sauce, 7-Spice Chili, and Tabasco Bloody Mary Mix. They're Louisiana legends. Now stay tuned for our visit in the Saints locker room. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football.
The Saints are the #1 team in New Orleans. First Communication is the first team in communication. Right now, First Communication would like to show you their lineup of superstars in terms of telephone systems and service. You may even get a quarterback. Let First Communication review their playbook with you and defend against breakdown and high cost in your present system. First Communication guarantees to play hard every day and give you a championship telephone or communication system. Don't fumble away this opportunity. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and be part of a winning team.
When Royal Oldsmobile Mazda says they're the dealership that's different, they're not kidding. We're talking really different. I'll let them tell you about it.
We're here when you need us, evenings, Saturdays, and even most holidays.
The people seem more caring. They aren't pushy.
Of course, our #1 concern is customer satisfaction.
Once someone buys an automobile from Royal, then they are truly treated royally.
Take it from the pros who know. Royal Oldsmobile Mazda, the dealership that's different.
Hi, this is A.D. Berry, inviting you to use the Instant Request and Dedication Party as a tool to get your message across. Example.
I said, someone already requested Alone With You by Tammy Campbell.
No, ma'am.
They haven't. Okay, you've got to put this on the air. I want to send this out to Terrence. This is from Kim, because he's had football practice at Tulane, and I want to be alone with him. I just cannot wait till next week. And, you know, I just want you to play that song.
We got sweet ladies over here in Avondale.
Q93, I feel like humping around.
Hey, dedicate that to them from Willie.
I dedicate it to Frankie.
Who's Frankie?
My boyfriend.
You can dedicate your favorite song to someone special or dog someone out over the airwaves on the Instant Request and Dedication Party, Monday through Thursday, starting at 10 on Continuous Music Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
You're listening to Q93.
time to head to the locker room. The New Orleans Saints Network continues our exclusive live coverage of the Saints with interviews with the coaches and players in the Saints locker room.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, and somewhere beneath Memorial Stadium here in Baltimore is our own Jim Henderson in the Saints locker room, a victorious one with starting quarterback Bobby Hebert. Jim?
Thank you very much, David. Bobby, that looked more like the Saints offense out there tonight.
Right, yeah, we controlled the tempo of the game, mixing up, the run and the pass. Pat Newman did a great job on his route as far as setting up the cornerback, and it was just my job, to get it to him, and that was a big play, getting the offense, going. I really think that if we can control the tempo of the game with the defense that we have, giving them the well-deserved rest that they always, need, they can go in there and make big plays, and I think we did that especially at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, you had a time of possession edge of 20 minutes and 17 seconds to 9:43 in the first half for the Dolphins. Being protected means a great deal to a quarterback, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes a lot of difference. Last week at Houston, they came with a lot of pressure and really didn't have a game plan for that pressure that they were coming, after us. Well, we worked a little more, I would say, on Miami than we did against Houston, but we still didn't go in with a game plan, because basically, we're still doing stuff trying to get ready for Philadelphia because they have such a dominating defense like we have, so hopefully, we can limit our mistakes and make enough big plays to win the game.
Counting Eric, you didn't have your top 4 receivers available to you tonight. Does that make much difference to a quarterback trying to get ready for the first game of the regular season?
Well, I don't want to make any excuses, but you like to have all those guys in there that are going to be in the game when it counts. But I thought the young guys did a great job coming in there and making things happen. But you just have to make the best of whatever you have, whatever situation you're in. And, mentally, they're getting better each week. A lot of the guys, it's just their, 4th professional game. And, a couple of times in the huddle, I made sure I called the play, then I would tell them individually what to do to make sure they were doing the right thing and not, just, you get in a game situation, they might freak out sometimes and forget, what they did in practice. And so that was a situation where I make sure I knew what they were doing, and it worked well.
It certainly did. Bobby, congratulations.
All right, thank you, Jim.
David, back upstairs to you.
All right, Jim, thanks. And now this for Castrol.
If you've been putting off your car's oil change, do it now. Today's 4- and 6-cylinder cars are really tough on motor oils. Drive into River City Honda, Vicksburg, Mississippi, and get a complete Castrol GTX oil change. While you're there, register to win free Saints tickets. The job will be done fast and done right using Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against both viscosity and thermal breakdown. Spruce up your car's engine with Castrol at River City Honda, Vicksburg, Mississippi. When you talk to the boss, you find out what's really happening, and you can find out the scoop on the Saints as you talk to the Saints boss, General Manager Jim Finks, each Wednesday evening during the Jim Finks Call-In Show. David Garrett talks football with this highly respected team executive each Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. And you can join in the conversation wherever you are in the Gulf South. It's the Jim Finks Call-In Show, Wednesday 6:30, heard on many of these stations from Clear Channel Sports on the Saints Radio Network.
Down in the Saints locker room, Jim Henderson with Patrick Newman. Patrick, a 22-yard touchdown reception in the first quarter to get it all going. You really beat that young cornerback Chris Green badly on the play.
Yeah, we put on a hook and go, and he bit on it, and so I just went up deep, and Bobby put the ball there.
You had such a great preseason in camp. Tonight, one of the first times you really got a chance to show your stuff in the game. I guess the fact that a lot of the other receivers weren't there gave you increased playing time.
Well, yeah, I felt that this game was important for me and the coaching staff to look at me and evaluate me, and I just wanted to go out there and give my best and do what I had to do.
And you did. Another aspect of your game, returning punts. It didn't look like you made a single error in judgment out there tonight. Showed some guts on occasion when it looked like you should have or could have called for a fair catch.
Yeah, earlier in preseason, I returned the first game, and I didn't get a chance to until this last game, and I wanted to go out there and, show them that I can return punts, too.
You made this team?
I don't know. I hope so.
Thanks very much. Patrick Newman, you'd have to think that he probably did based on his performance in training camp and also here tonight. David?
Thank you, Jim. Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification after the Saints beat the Dolphins 17-3. You're listening to Saints football.
WQUE-AM FM New Orleans, the official FM station of the New Orleans Saints.
Welcome back. We'll get a few stats to you now, some more later. Saints had 16 first downs, 10 by rushing compared to 12 for the Dolphins total. Total net yards, the Dolphins actually outgained New Orleans, 267 to 258. Saints had 151 yards rushing and 81 passing, or rather 151 yards rushing and 107 yards passing. The Dolphins have 186 passing and 81 rushing. More on the Locker Room Show after these local messages. You're listening to Saints Football.
With approved credit, standard bank, equipment tax, title license, non-included caravan, 72-month financing, 11.9% APR ranking according to Chrysler Corp. Car buyers, Ray Brandt, Louisiana's #1 Dodge dealer, wants to put a Dodge in your garage. Get the 92 Caravan for $11,990 or $2,500 down, $199 a month. Conversion vans are just $14,995 at Ray Brandt Dodge, 1660 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. There's only room in this town for one Dodge dealer. That's Ray Brandt Dodge. The rest, get out of Dodge.
T-Tiger Ski Lodge, 3224 Edenborn Avenue is your New Orleans Saints sports bar. Starting with Monday night, men's night out. Come enjoy a sexy baby doll lingerie show starting at 9 with $1.50 pitcher drink specials all night. Thursday night it's Jaeger night at the Ski Lodge with Jaegerettes leading the cheers as you watch the Saints take on the Dolphins with $1.25 Jaeger. Saturday, $1.50 pitcher and 2-for-1 long necks. The bungee running competition continues with the finals on Labor Day. T-Tiger Ski Lodge, 3224 Edenborn Avenue in Metairie. Almost by A Confidential.
Q93 presents the Popeyes Saints Sweepstakes. There are 2 weekly prizes. All you do is go into any participating Popeyes restaurant, pick up an official Saints bumper sticker, fill it out, and mail it in. Then listen to Q93 every Wednesday morning for the winning weekly name. You can win 4 tickets to the next Saints home game. You and 3 of your friends will be guests of Q93 at the Saints tailgate party. Receive a Saints duffel bag, jacket, and jersey, and you'll participate in Popeyes Pop of the Game. Or the second weekly prize, 2 tickets to the next Saints away game, 2 round-trip airfares, 2 nights at an NFL hotel plus $200 in cash. If you're not a weekly winner, not to worry. All non-winning entries are eligible for the grand prize. That's 2 tickets to Super Bowl 92, 2 round-trip airfares, 4 nights at an NFL hotel plus $500 cash. There's a winner every week during the Q93 Popeye Saints Sweepstakes. Listen every Wednesday morning for the winning name. In addition, if you call Q93 within the time allotted, there's more to win. Go into any participating Popeyes restaurant and get ready to win. From Continuous Music, Q93, the FM station for the New Orleans Saints.
You're listening to Q93.
He only had 1 kickoff run back this evening, a couple of touchbacks, and a field goal. He is Morton Anderson, and Morton Anderson is with Jim Henderson in the locker room.
And, David, it seems to be a greatly relieved Morton Anderson down here. You have to be very happy with that performance and the way you've come out of this physically.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with, with the game and the situation that presented itself to me. I got 4 kickoffs, 2 extra points, a short field goal, but a field goal, and they were kind of spread out over most of the game, so it wasn't like I had to wait a long time. It was a good continuity to it, and there was no pain in when I kicked, which was my main concern. Now I'm icing it, and we'll just have to see how it responds tomorrow, if the swelling stays down, and if it does, then I'm going to be very optimistic for next week.
And for the first time in quite a while, you weren't in pain even in practice as you attempted your first kicks.
Yeah, in pregame I was fine. I felt smooth, and everything felt good, and that's encouraging. And it's about time. I'm tired of whooshing around here pretending I'm hurt, I guess. But it's never fun to be injured. It's not. You don't try to get injured. You try to maintain, and hopefully I'm ready to go now for the full year.
Speaking of wussing around, come on, an 18-yard field goal.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's 3 points, right? It went up on the scoreboard. That's all I care about.
Okay, let's hope that you're fully recovered for the Eagles next week. Thanks, Morton.
Come to champions.
Were you speaking to me or our audience? Or both? David?
Go there often, as a matter of fact. Thank you, Morton. Now this for Southwest Airlines and BC Powders.
There are only so many hours in a day, so many days in a week. And if you believe time is money, you'd better be getting the most out of every business day. How? Fly Southwest Airlines, the only airline built to save you time. From the beginning, Southwest Airlines has done things differently to make your business day more productive and efficient. Just take a look at our flight schedule. It's specifically designed around the times you need to fly, with a total of 13 flights to Dallas and 16 to Houston every business day. And Southwest has one of the best on-time records in the industry, so you can get down to business a lot quicker and not waste time or money. Southwest Airlines also serves close-in, uncongested airports like Dallas Love Field and Houston Hobby, saving you time on the road, as well as cab fare. It's really very simple. While all airlines were built to fly you places, only one was built to save you time. Southwest Airlines, the most convenient airline you can fly, with the lowest unrestricted fares. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA. It's just plain smart.
Power, BC Power.
When pain puts you in a world of hurt, you need the power of BC.
Power, BC Power.
I coach Little League after work, so I'm tired when I get there.
BC Power in the powder, the power of BC.
Then I'll hit well over 100 balls. Plus, there's lots of bending and twisting and throwing.
BC Power in the powder, the power of BC.
Later, my back feels like a wrung-out dish rag. And that's where the BC comes in.
You need something to see you through, something strong so you feel like new.
You know, I might have stopped coaching a long time ago if it wasn't for BC.
BC Power in the powder, the power of BC.
No matter where you're hurting, BC stops pain fast.
The power of BC.
Use as directed.
Sitting with Coach Moore down in the Victorious Saints locker room, you said before the game that your main concern was keeping people healthy in the last preseason game. Did you?
I think that's a major concern for all teams going into this last preseason game, is to keep everybody healthy and hopefully get the guys that missed this one back for the regular season. And I think we came out of this thing in pretty good shape. I haven't talked to our trainer yet, but he certainly didn't indicate anything on the sideline during the game or anybody got anything that might keep him out of next week's game.
You also said before the game another primary concern was finding out which of these teams is the real New Orleans Saints, the group that played the first two victoriously or the one that played pretty badly last week against the Oilers. Has that been answered to your satisfaction?
Well, I didn't think we were as bad as we were last week, you know, and I feel that way. We're a better football team than we showed against Houston. I think our team felt a little embarrassed about how they played against Houston and wanted to come out and redeem themselves in this last preseason game. They approached their preparation during the week like that, and I thought we would play much better, and we did.
You started out the game with the Saints' offense of old, at least especially the one we saw in the first two games of preseason, controlling the ball and mixing the run and the pass so effectively, and Bobby excellently protected.
We had a couple of real nice drives, Jim, offensively to go down and get the 2 touchdowns, and I thought we did a good job calling the plays. Carl did, and our offense did an excellent job of executing.
As you look back on preseason, did you accomplish what you wanted to? Are you ready to open against Philadelphia?
Yeah, I look back, and I can't think of any area where I say, well, I wish we'd have done this, or I wish we would have done that. You're always, you can't ever be completely satisfied, but I think we'll go into the first game as ready as anybody else in the league, and it's going to be a very big challenge playing them up there, but our team will play hard, and we'll see what happens.
Jim, thanks very much.
Okay.
David?
Thank you very much, Jim. More in a moment as you're listening to Saints football.
Tax title license not included, ranking according to South Central Region. Car buyers, if you think you've seen rock bottom deals on new Nissans, Ray Brent Nissan's here to tell you. Till you've seen the great deals at Ray Brent Nissan's Clearance Center, like the 92 240SX for $10,995 or the 92 Maxima $15,995. From Ray Brent, the South's #1 Nissan dealer, 1884 West Bank Expressway, Harvey, cutting down the competition.
T-Tiger Ski Lodge, 3224 Edenborn Avenue is your New Orleans Saints sports bar. Starting with Monday night, men's night out, come enjoy a sexy baby doll lingerie show starting at 9 with $1.50 pitcher drink specials all night. Thursday night, it's Jaeger night at the Ski Lodge with Jaegerettes leading the cheers as you watch the Saints take on the Dolphins with $1.25 Jaeger. Saturday, $1.50 pitcher and 2-for-1 long necks. The bungee running competition continues with the finals on Labor Day. T-Tiger Ski Lodge, 3224 Edenborn Avenue in Metairie. Promos by A Confidential.
Hi, this is A.D. Berry inviting you to use the Instant Request and Dedication Party as a tool to get your message across. Example.
I said, someone already requested Alone With You by Tevin Campbell.
No, ma'am.
They haven't? Okay, you've got to put this on the air. I want to send this out to Terrence. This is from Kim, because he's had football practice at Tulane, and I want to be alone with him. I just cannot wait till next week. And, I just want you to play that song.
We got sweet ladies over here in Avondale.
Q93, I feel like humping around.
Hey, dedicate that to them from Willie.
I dedicate it to Frankie,
Who's Frankie?
my boyfriend.
You can dedicate your favorite song to someone special or dog someone out over the airwaves on the Instant Request and Dedication Party. Monday through Thursday, starting at 10 on Continuous Music Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
You're listening to Q93.
Welcome back to Baltimore and Memorial Stadium. Vaughn Dunbar had 14 carries tonight for 76 yards. That's over 5.4 per carry. His longest was 16, and every time he got into the defensive backfield, he punished a few defensive backs. Vaughn Dunbar is with Jim Henderson.
Yeah, and he just completed his longest run of the night, all the way out in the corridor to avoid the tangle of media surrounding Bobby Hebert. Nice run, Vaughn. Good decision on your part.
Thank you.
Everybody's waiting for you to break the big one. Tonight it looked like you were one missed tackle away from going a long way.
Yeah, on like 2 or 3 different carries, I was like you said, 1 or 2 guys away from breaking the long one. And, those are the kind of plays you look back on and you're very disappointed and you wish you could have did this. And you're like, if I would have did this, I probably could have broke through. But the key is to hit every read as hard as you possibly can and it'll come sooner or later.
Well, you haven't disappointed many of the Saints fans, I don't think, in preseason. Still feel like a rookie, or is Vaughn Dunbar ready to open the regular season along with his new teammates?
I'm kind of mixed right now, In different situations, I definitely feel like a rookie. There's some, situations that I need to hone in on and, get flowing a little bit. But then on the other hand, I'm feeling comfortable about a lot of things. So, by regular season, I'm definitely going to be ready to go.
Well, I wouldn't be a member of the media if I didn't ask you something negative. What happened on what looked to be the sack of Steve Walsh? Was that a design? Were you supposed to be out in the flat there as a receiver? Did you miss somebody, or was it not your fault at all?
That part I don't think was my fault. Steve Walsh, he alerted me of a wheel that was walked up, and I was kind of conscious of him. So, instead of going through my route, my play action fake, I went straight out there on him. But then I seen a lineman pick him up, so I knew someone was uncovered. So I looked back, and he was running for his life. So those things happen. Like I said, that's probably part of the game that I'm feeling most like a rookie. So once I get those things straightened out and hone in on those type of things, like my blocking assignments, I'll be ready to go.
Well, congratulations on a fine preseason. I think so far you have justified everybody's faith in you and picking you number 1, and we look forward to a great year from Vaughn Dunbar and a super career ahead.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it also.
That's Vaughn Dunbar, and David, that just about wraps it up from down here.
All right, Jim, great job. Look forward to Philadelphia in about 10 days. Now this for Castrol and Sears Brand Central.
If you've been putting off your car's oil change, do it now. Today's 4- and 6-cylinder cars are really tough on motor oils. Drive into River City Honda, Vicksburg, Mississippi, and get a complete Castrol GTX oil change. While you're there, register to win free Saints tickets. The job will be done fast and done right using Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against both viscosity and thermal breakdown. Spruce up your car's engine with Castrol at River City Honda, Vicksburg, Mississippi. Right now at Sears Brand Central, you can get a top-mount refrigerator from Kenmore with adjustable glass shelves and gallon-sized door space for just $620. Or pay just $570 with $50 in Sears bucks from this week's paper. Or use your Sears bonus bucks to save from $200 to $100 off any other regular-priced appliances or electronics. Only at Sears Brand Central. Prices may vary in Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. See store and newspaper for details.
You can count on me, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Quickly, some stats for the Saints. McAfee had 5 carries for 15 yards. Hayward carried it 6 times for 17. Dalton Hilliard had 5 carries for 13. Bobby Hebert had 1 scramble for 21 yards. That'll look nice on his yards per carry stat. Vaughn Dunbar, 14 carries for 76 yards to lead all rushers in the game. And Buford Jordan had 5 carries for 9 yards. 36 rushes, 151 yards in rushing tonight for the Saints. Hebert, 10 of 14 passing for 100 yards, 1 touchdown. That was a 22-yard strike to Pat Newman. Walsh was 3 of 4 for 19 yards. Buck was 1 of 2 passing for 12 yards. Saints 14 of 20 for 131, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions this evening. Humphrey was the leading ball carrier for Miami, 9 carries, 52 yards. Marino, 7 of 15, passing for 99. Peterson was 6 of 18, passing for 100 yards. He had 2 intercepted this evening. No touchdowns scored by the Dolphins as the Saints win by a score of 17-3. Saints were outgained by Miami tonight, but went on the scoreboard. Miami won in total yards, 267-258, but the Saints win 17-3 to go 3-1 in preseason. Our thanks to Bob Carroll, our engineer, also to Jim Henderson and Archie Manning for joining us tonight, and to Steve Stonebreaker for helping us in our pregame activities, to Craig Logston, our in-studio producer, and to everyone who helped us along the line tonight throughout the entire Saints radio network. I'm David Garrett, 17-3. Saints win. Goodbye, everybody.
Q93 presents the Popeyes Saint Sweepstakes. There are 2 weekly prizes. All you do is go into any participating Popeyes restaurant, pick up an official Saints bumper sticker, fill it out, and mail it in. Then listen to Q93 every Wednesday morning for the winning weekly name. You can win 4 tickets to the next Saints home game. You and 3 of your friends will be guests of Q93 at the Saints tailgate party. Receive a Saints duffel bag, jacket, and jersey, and you'll participate in Popeyes Pop of the Game. Or the second weekly prize, 2 tickets to the next Saints away game, 2 round-trip airfares, 2 nights at NFL hotel plus $200 in cash. If you're not a weekly winner, not to worry. All 9 winning entries are eligible for the grand prize. That's 2 tickets to Super Bowl 92, 2 round-trip airfares, 4 nights in NFL hotel plus $500 cash. There's a winner every week during the Q93 Popeye Saints Sweepstakes. Listen every Wednesday morning for the winning name. In addition, if you call Q93 within the time allotted, there's more to win. Go into any participating Popeyes restaurant and get ready to win. From continuous music, Q93, the FM station for the New Orleans Saints.
With approved credit, standard factor, equipment, tax title, license, non-included, caravan, 72-month financing, 11.9% APR ranking according to Chrysler Corp. Car buyers, Ray Brandt, Louisiana's #1 Dodge dealer, wants to put a Dodge in your garage. Get the 92 Caravan for $11,990 or $2,500 down, $199 a month. Conversion vans are just $14,995 in Ray Brandt Dodge, 1660 West Bank Expressway, Harvey. There's only room in this town for 1 Dodge dealer. That's Ray Brandt Dodge. The rest, get out of Dodge.
Hi, I'm Continuous Music Q93's LBJ, and we understand that the workday gets to be a pain right before lunchtime. Just for you, we've designed the Oldies All Request Lunch Hour to help you get through. Let us know what you want to hear, 260-9393, or toll free at 1-800-364-9393, or fax us at 522-6612. It happens right here at noon on Continuous Music, Q93.
Network continues game day coverage with the latest scores and reports from the National Football League on the Saints scoreboard.
A completely different finish for the New Orleans Saints as they close out the preseason with an impressive 17-3 win over Miami tonight. Welcome to the Saints Network facilities in New Orleans. I'm Doug Joubert with the Saints scoreboard. New Orleans closes out with a 3-1 record. The Dolphins closed the exhibition portion of 1992 at 3-2. When we return, a look at other games around the league. And remember, right after the scoreboard show on the flagship station of the Saints, Sports 1280, the wrap-up show with longtime Saints announcer Wayne Mack and our own Renee Nato. We're back after this. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football.
Q93 presents the Popeyes Saint Sweepstakes. There are 2 weekly prizes. All you do is go into any participating Popeyes restaurant, pick up an official Saints bumper sticker, fill it out, and mail it in. Then listen to Q93 every Wednesday morning for the winning weekly name. You can win 4 tickets to the next Saints home game. You and 3 of your friends will be guests of Q93 at the Saints tailgate party. Receive a Saints duffel bag, jacket, and jersey, and you'll participate in Popeyes Pop of the Game. Or the second weekly prize, 2 tickets to the next Saints away game, 2 round-trip airfares, 2 nights at NFL hotel plus $200 in cash. If you're not a weekly winner, not to worry. All 9 winning entries are eligible for the grand prize. That's 2 tickets to Super Bowl 92, 2 round-trip airfares, 4 nights in NFL hotel plus $500 cash. There's a winner every week during the Q93 Popeye Saints Sweepstakes. Listen every Wednesday morning for the winning name. In addition, if you call Q93 within the time allotted, there's more to win. Go into any participating Popeyes restaurant and get ready to win. From Continuous Music Q93, the FM station for the New Orleans Saints.
Tax title license not included, ranking according to South Central Region. Car buyers, if you think you've seen rock bottom deals on new Nissans, Ray Brandt Nissan's here to tell you. Till you've seen the great deals at Ray Brandt Nissan's Clearance Center, like the 92 240SX for $10,995 or the 92 Maxima $15,995. From Ray Brandt, the South's #1 Nissan dealer, 1884 West Bank Expressway, Harvey, cutting down the competition.
Hi, C.J. Morgan here.
And I'm Monica Pierre.
Join us mornings for C.J. and Company, where we do Kiss Off Friday, Telltale Thursday, Joke Off Wednesday, Trivia Tuesday, and of course my personal favorite, What's on Your Mind Monday.
C.J., what's on your mind?
I
thought so. That's C.J. and Company mornings on Continuous Music Q93.
C.J. Morgan and Monica Pierre in the morning on Continuous Music Q93 with always more than 93 in a row.
You're listening to Q93.
New Orleans plays the way most thought they would this year, at least this week, with a solid 17-3 victory over the Miami Dolphins in Baltimore. Welcome back to the Saints Scoreboard Show. I'm Doug Joubert. Two other games on tap for tonight in the city of brotherly love. Philadelphia Eagles hosted the Jets. Ken O'Brien throwing for 11 yards and 2 touchdowns, make that 111 yards and 2 touchdowns, as the New York Jets close out a perfect preseason 5-0 with a 22-13 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Terrence Mathis caught a 30-yard scoring pass from O'Brien in the third quarter to put the Jets ahead 17-13. Mathis caught 4 passes, 130 yards. O'Brien also hit Chris Burkett with a 2-yard touchdown pass late in the first half. Jim McMahon played for the Eagles, completed 8 of 12 passes for 119 yards and a TD. Eagles finished the preseason at 2-3 on the year. The Jets, who went undefeated in the preseason for the first time since they went 4-0 in 1966, defeated the Eagles twice this preseason. Remember, the Jets also beat Philly 41-14 in the Hall of Fame game. Of course, the New Orleans Saints were big winners over Miami, 17-3. Bobby Hebert completed 10 of 14 passes in one half of action, as the Saints did the action this time for the first pro football game in Baltimore since 1983. Hebert threw 27 yards to Patrick Newman for the Saints' first touchdown pass of the preseason. The game was played before a sellout crowd of 60,021 up in Baltimore. Saints finished the preseason at 3-1. Miami at 3-2. Still underway. In fact, it started a little over an hour ago. The San Diego Chargers beginning their game against the Rams in Southern California. The last we had, 2 minutes to go. The 2-minute warning has sounded. San Diego with the ball on their own 40-yard line, 2nd and 7, and up by a touchdown, 10-3 over the LA Rams. Our final, New Orleans 17, Miami 3. We'll come back and check other stuff around the league on the Saints Network.
Information on the New Orleans Saints as they go through the battles of the gridiron season here in the National Football League. Daily on many of these stations, you can hear the Saints Today. A look at the Saints organization with comments from players, coaches, and others that make up the Saints organization. The Saints Today is heard mornings on many of these Saints radio network stations. Then each afternoon, Clear Channel Sports proudly presents the Jim Moore Journal, a daily visit with the head coach of the Saints. David Garrett and Coach Jim Moore look at personnel, injuries, upcoming opponents, and a lot more. Afternoons on many of these Saints radio network stations. The Saints Today and the Jim Moore Journal, 2 daily sources of the latest on your New Orleans Saints. Heard on many of these stations from Clear Channel Sports on the New Orleans Saints radio network. It was a jungle out there. We're back at the Saints Network facility in New Orleans. I'm Doug Joubert with the Saints Scoreboard. Tonight, New Orleans taking a well-built 17-3 victory over Miami. The lone score for the Dolphins as time expired in the first half as Pete Stoyanovich hit a 47-yard field goal. That was the lone Dolphin score as the Saints take care of a 17-3 victory in their final preseason game of 1992. The Saints break their third quarter jinx, finally putting some points on the board, an 18-yard field goal from Morton Anderson in the third quarter. 2 other games on tap tonight. The Jets didn't score until the second quarter, but then put up the points early and often
in a 22-13 victory over Philadelphia. In that game, Ken O'Brien had 111 yards, 2 touchdowns in passing. The Jets close out a perfect 5-0 season with that win over Philadelphia, the second time they've beaten them in preseason play. In San Diego, the Chargers taking on the LA Rams. At last count, it's under 2 minutes to go in that first half of play. San Diego had the ball the last time we checked on their own 40-yard line, up by a touchdown, 10-3. Tomorrow, 7 games on tap, including the unbeaten San Francisco 49ers closing out at home against Seattle. Then the final 4 games of the 1992 preseason on Saturday. On the list, 4-0 Houston versus the 0-3 Raiders in Los Angeles. When we come back, a look ahead to the season opener, the final in Baltimore, New Orleans 17, Miami 3. You're listening to New Orleans Saints football.
Hi, CJ Superstar Morgan here, along with one of my many adoring fans.
You're unbelievable! Everyone's listening to you!
And what a responsibility. CJ and Company, mornings and continuous music, Q93, with always more than 93 in a row.
The Saints are the #1 team in New Orleans. First Communication is the first team in communication. Right now, First Communication would like to show you their lineup of superstars in terms of telephone systems and service. You may even get a quarter back. Let First Communication review their playbook with you and defend against breakdown and high cost in your present system. First Communication guarantees to play hard every day and give you a championship telephone or communication system. Don't fumble away this opportunity. Call First Communication at 464-1717 and be part of a winning team.
When Royal Oldsmobile Mazda says they're the dealership that's different, they're not kidding. We're talking really different. I'll let them tell you about it.
We're here when you need us, evenings, Saturdays, and even most holidays.
The people seem more caring. They aren't pushy.
Of course, our #1 concern is customer satisfaction.
Once someone buys an automobile from Royal, then they are truly treated royally.
Take it from the pros who know. Royal Oldsmobile Mazda, the dealership that's different.
Tomorrow morning at 7:15, have your dial locked in to 93.3. CJ Superstar Morgan's gonna let you know how you can pick up on tickets to the hottest concert coming to the Crescent City.
Come and talk to me, I really want to meet you, girl. You remind me of the love that I want to do.
Listen, tomorrow morning at 7:15 at CJ and Company. Tomorrow morning at 7:15, listen to CJ and Company to find out how you can check out the hottest tour in the Crescent City. But it's only on Continuous Music Q93. You're listening to Q93.
Our final tonight, one that makes all Saints fans feel a little better, as New Orleans takes care of business with Miami 17-3. Welcome back to the Saints Scoreboard Show. I'm Doug Schubert. New Orleans will have a week and a half to ready themselves for their season opener in Philadelphia against the Eagles. That team lost to the Jets for the second time this preseason, this time by a 22-13 count tonight in Philadelphia. Meanwhile, in San Diego, the Chargers have hit a field goal with 35 seconds to go in the first half. They lead the Rams by a 13-3 count. The season opener scheduled for Sunday, September 6th in Philly against the Eagles. Kickoff set for noon a week from this Sunday. Our Saints tailgate party cranks up that morning at 9:20. So make sure you join us. Coming up next on the flagship station of the Saints, Sports 1280, the wrap-up show with Wayne Mack and Renee Nadeau. If we sounded good this evening, you can blame our producer, Chris Sturkin. I'm Doug Schubert, reminding you the final score. New Orleans 17, Miami 3. This has been an exclusive presentation of Clear Channel Sports.
This Q93 presentation of tonight's New Orleans Saints preseason game against the Miami Dolphins has been brought to you by Jefferson Savings and Loan, Ray Brandt Nissan, Ray Brandt Dodge, the United States Postal Service, the Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital, Royal Oldsmobile Mazda, Coors Light, Louisiana Heat Pump Association, participating Exxon Shops, First Communication, Attorney Cardell Thomas and Associates, Interstate Ford, She Tiger Ski Lodge, and United Bank and Trust. Be listening to Q93 Sunday, September 6th, as the New Orleans Saints begin their 92 NFL regular season play by traveling to Philadelphia to meet Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles here on Continuous Music Q93.